What it do, family? What it do? 414 stand up. It is Outlaw Radio on a Monday evening. Welcome to the show. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. And this is what we do on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know I'm late tonight. So goes things, right? Hey, a lot to talk about tonight. Kind of like a gray cloud hanging over the city. We're gonna talk about that. Shout out to y'all. Let everybody know the show is on. I didn't post it. I know, bad host, right? I didn't post it because I forgot. But yeah, it's Outlaw Radio as usual, man. On a Monday evening, I know people have a lot on their hearts and on their minds tonight. We do have a phone number attached to the show. It's 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. There's also a chat room attached to the show. So if you want to get in the conversation, please don't hesitate to do so. Like I said, I know a lot of people feel a certain way. Another bloody weekend, along with some other stuff in the city over the weekend. We say this like in the spring when it starts to warm up and you start to see things happen. We say it's going to be a crazy summer, right? But you always end up kind of like, well, I didn't think it was going to be this crazy. All right. So listen, we got to try and try. I know it's hard to say solutions. Like that word is so lost right now, right? Solutions. What does that mean, right? What are we talking about? The issues that affect us in this city are just multi-tiered. There's so many of them. And every time you start kind of talking about one and trying to think of what you're going to do about one, the other one gets worse and worse. So you're always kind of running back and forth. It would be nice if the city, and I'm speaking on, the black side, right? The north side, if you will. It's siloed. It would be better if all of these, because we got some organizations and some people here who do great work, who work very hard, who are very passionate about, community, improving the community and helping people in the community. But a lot of times they're handcuffed because of a shortage of funding or support. And, when I say support, I mean, because, you have the people that agree with you, but then you're just one part. You're just one cog in the machine, and we need this whole thing moving efficiently. So hopefully there will be some more communication between these organizations. Like I said, it's a bunch of people. I'm looking at Facebook. I'm looking at social media all weekend, and I'm seeing tons of people who are out, like meeting, like when the youngster, we're going to talk about the youngster who was kidnapped and who was missing. If you have information on that, please call the show. I really don't understand this. I'm missing something on this case. Right, with the whole, like, this armed individual jumps out and grabs a kid. So we're going to talk about that. But so I've seen people who are passionate. I've heard the outcry. I've been watching emotional social media posts all weekend long. So everybody's feeling a certain kind of way. And sometimes it got to boil over. It got to get to a tipping point for people really jump in and do what? What is the question? What are we going to do? So we're going to talk about that tonight, amongst some other things, a little bit of micro, a little bit of macro. Some local stuff, some national stuff. We'll get into all that. That's what we do on Outlaw Radio. In case you're wondering, it's a foundational Black American platform for us to talk about the things that are pertinent and important to us as foundational Black Americans. Don't get it twisted. No Tariq Nasheed followership. None of that. Total free thinking. Understanding what delineation actually means. Mr. Carter, what it do, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, man, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the Black woman lover, the Black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor, the real old motherfucking... Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, hey, mama, let's go to CMOS, man. Y'all better come on in.
Get you some smoothies or get you a t-shirt, right? A one-stop shop, right?
One-stop shop.
Juice Lady joining in. Juice Lady, the sun is shining. We can't see you. I don't know. You driving down the street. What's good with you? Can she hear me even? You muted, Courtney. I don't know. We can't hear you. So I guess she'd rather be seen than heard, y'all.
I mean, you can't hear me because I was muted. I ain't saying nothing yet.
Okay, well, you only got that long. How long you gonna take to jump in?
I
gotta go. We gotta go.
Connected to my car, and I couldn't hear y'all. I couldn't hear.
You supposed to have done that before you got on the show. Let's go. What's good? Where you on your way to? Summerfest? It's over. You missed it.
I'm leaving the Woodmans. As you
the Woodmans in Menominee Falls.
Yes.
Okay.
Am I not supposed to be here, Kev?
I just left here a little while ago.
I was gonna say, Kev always says we ain't supposed to be nowhere. They mistreated somebody black. You ain't supposed to shop out there at Woodman's. Am I supposed to be here or not, Kev?
I don't know if you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be here, but I don't know if you're supposed to be there. I don't know. Maybe you had to go and get some grits and some rice and some bacon bits or something. I don't know. You're the only person I know who jumped on the show on the way home from grocery shopping, but it's all good. A lot of people might be riding right now listening to the show. So if you're a trucker out there and you listening, like Dion was a trucker and he used to be listening to the show while he was driving his truck, like so I guess it's all good. Let me see who's in the chat room early. Stephanie Bowles, how you doing, my sister? How you doing? She said, welcome back. Yeah, we haven't been on since last Wednesday. Had a good time last week. I see Facebook is kind of playing with the algorithm with my show again. So some people saying they can't see it. Whatever. It is what it is. That's why I don't give them no money. Sharita Shaw said, don't be hating Tariq. I don't hate Tariq. I like Tariq, but the thing about this is people think if you say you're a foundational Black American, that he is your leader or that he is the person that came up with the concept. So I always have to show, or at least to me, I need to state that I'm not a follower of anyone. I'm not in a club. I don't have a bumper sticker. This is something that I studied myself and decided that I would support for myself. So I'm not hating on Tariq. I listen to Tariq, so I ain't hating on Tariq. I'm just saying I don't follow him. Right? I'm not looking at what he said about FBA. Then I go back and say it to somebody else. The great Tariq Nasheed said, no, I don't. That's not how I move. And he came up with the concept. He coined the term foundational Black American. But I can tell you this. We on this show have been saying for 7 years that Black people are the only true Americans because of what we had been through, and that we were a different group that was culturally identified by our existence in this country. They erased our history of what happened before until we were able to go back and find it and reclaim it. But we have a unique situation in this country because our cultural identity was formed by the United States of America and its journey, right? Fought in every major conflict, contributed to the economy, helped build a country. That's us. So we're unique. So we've been saying that. We just wasn't calling it foundational Black. Hey, this chat room is popping, y'all. Shout out to y'all in the chat room. I appreciate you. No, I love Tariq, Sharita. He's a good dude. As far as I know him personally. Mama Jenkins said, good evening, my Outlaw family. It's good to see you, Courtney. What a fucking weekend here in Kill City. What a weekend across America. Yeah. Every large city, every urban area, mass shootings everywhere. Let me see. Ernest Walker said, Merry Monday from Northside Rob. He called him Prank Sean last week and said he was Northside Rob. Y'all had to be here. Sean Moore said, Courtney, he's big up in you. Or he's just saying your name for some reason. I don't know. That might be weird. I might not want to call attention to that. Sharita Shaw says he's not a leader and he expresses that all the time. I know, but everybody is not in the loop. Sharita, you in the know, obviously. Everybody is not. And so I still get people who say, well, what is that? What is this FBA thing? What is delineation? What is the delineation movement? So we try to make things clear so everybody can understand. We don't want to talk over nobody head. DeVille Willis said, Outlaws. What up, Q Love? What it do, man? Sean Moore said, back to ignoring my calls, huh? Who, Courtney or me? Courtney, you ignoring Sean calls? I wasn't looking at the phone, Sean, so I didn't see it. Hit me back. I don't have a light in front of me like somebody waving, like I got a director saying, oh. So if I'm doing one thing, you know what I'm saying? Hit me back, man. He said, Mommy, speaking to Mama Jenkins. Okay, so he said me. He's talking to me. I'm ignoring his calls. Did you just call? If you just called and I didn't answer it, call back. That's what you're usually supposed to do. Doing a show here, man. Cut me some slack. But yeah, listen, hell of a weekend. Holy shit. That's the best way I can describe it. I guess, you know, what everybody's so in their feelings about and sensitive about, and rightfully so, is the death of the brother Young Twan, OG Tweezy. People have a bunch of different names for him. I always called him Young Twan because that's where I first heard of him at. Crazy thing is, I've never met him. And
Oh wow.
I've been everywhere, man, in this city, and I know a lot of people. I never met him. I've been in places. My cousin, who used to be into the club promotion thing, we've been somewhere, and he'd be like, "Hey, man, let me go holler at my boy Tweezy," and I'd be like, "All right," and he'd go talk to him, and I don't go with him, so I see him, and so I never met him. From what I hear, he's a good brother, passionate about the city, just like I am, and everybody on this show is. I think most of us love Milwaukee. I think most of us want to be here, but sometimes the city treats us like we shouldn't be here. Sometimes things go on in our community that make us not necessarily want to stay here long term, but it's a deeply rooted love for the city. Like, man, you know what it's like to come up here and to carve something out of nothing. So if people got something they want to say about this brother tonight, I don't mind if you call in on a personal tip if you want to say something, because like I said, I did know him. I seen him a couple times like anybody else, but I never conversed with him. So, you know, I guess a lost opportunity for myself, but it is what it is. You can't know everybody, right? So
you know
Kamar,
how Milwaukee, you know how Milwaukee is. You know how Milwaukee is. You know somebody that know everybody.
Of course,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like you always know somebody that knows somebody. So through somebody, you know everybody pretty much.
Right.
You know what I mean? I knew the brother, right? I've been knowing him since the 90s. I've been like, man, it's crazy. Like, when I first met Twan, he was a smooth brother, right? First off, he was the first Milwaukee rap artist that I knew of that got signed to a major label. He was 5 Hours. You know what I'm saying? 8 Ball mentioned him in a couple and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he done brought them boys up them a few times. I done knew the brother. I remember years ago, he got they had an award show, Milwaukee Award show, and he won Hustler of the Year also, right? Okay. And I got a memory on that. You know, like we used to be on the block and Tweezy would pull up. You know what I mean? Dog pull up one time, man. He had a couple cases of Magnums and shit. He was selling rubbers. Pull up another time. He had a trunk full of cases of Moet. He was selling bottles of Moet. But you know what I mean? And way back then, you know what I mean? I remember him telling me, like, Bull, man, you got to find something else to steal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I remember telling me that way back then, and that's one memory that I have of him. Because, like, as long as I ever knew him, as far as I knew, he never touched no drugs. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Never touched selling drugs. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but as far as I knew, he didn't. And all through the years, you know what I'm saying? Every time we seen each other, you know what I mean? It was always genuine. It wasn't never no forced conversation. You know what I'm saying? It was smooth. Finally decided to transition, you know what I mean, and found something else to sell. You know what I mean? The brother was right there supporting me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Tweezy was a good dude. We didn't hang out like that, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, he was a good dude. Every time I seen him.
What's up? Now, Sean, are you okay? You having a breakdown over there? What's going on, man? You don't sound too good.
Man, I was coughing.
I know. We all heard you coughing.
That's what's up.
What's up, man?
That's what's up. Hey, Courtney.
She gone.
Boy, I tell you.
Hey.
What's happening, family?
What's happening,
Bull?
What's happening, Sean?
Oh, man. Just trying to stay alive around this cold city, man. Yeah, so.
Now, did you know the brother? Did you know him, Sean?
Yeah. We, you know, he was a little bit younger than me. We spoke in passing. You know, I ain't never had a problem with him. I ain't never known for nobody I know to have a problem with my brother. You know what I mean? You know, so yeah, man, it's you know, but it's you know, and I know we talking about Tweezy, you know what I mean, but somebody else died with Tweezy.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sure did.
And then the next day, somebody got killed. Then the next day, somebody got killed. Right?
A 4-year-old got killed.
Yeah, you know, so you know, man, it's the Tweezy has now become one of many. You know what I mean? One of many that may have been preventable, right? You know, I filed a revocation hearing with the city license bureau today about the building, due to the history of the building, and a lot of people got mad at me, right? But the owner called me, the new owner, because he don't want to lose this building, right? What can I do to make this building safe? So, you know, hopefully out of Squeezy and that brother's death,
is it the owner's fault? I mean, come on, like.
Well. So this is a new owner. He just got the building June 1st, and like I was telling him, the culture has already been established, right? That okay, the ownership ain't gonna really stand on us, so we can do what we want to. But this new owner, talking with him, he has new ideas for the building.
Hey, Sean, let me ask you this real quick though.
Yeah.
What could the staff of that bar could have done about a drive-by shooting?
Mm-hmm.
What could they have done to prevent that? Like what's their role in it? And even a young lady, hold on, and I read your post. Even a young lady who that the fight was inside, it spilled outside. She lost her life, right? You referenced her in your post, and then there was what was it? What was the other one that you had in there? Because I thought you had 3. Maybe you had just those 2.
I talked about Tweety. I talked about the young lady, and I said previous incident, previous violent incident.
Okay.
Right? So what they could have done in this case, because Twan was outside, being Twan, what I mean, hey, we up in here. People were outside with him though, right?
Right.
If they weren't allowed to stand outside with him, right, and nobody's outside, and the people that's looking for these people can't drive up and see them just standing out there hanging out, that's avoided.
So you can't go outside. They should say you can't go outside.
No, it's not that you can't go outside. You can't be outside hanging out.
Is he not the promoter though? Is he not the promoter? Wasn't he promoting this event?
I'm not talking about
okay, the other people who was talking to him. If he's outside and he's promoting and he's at the door greeting people like, hey, yeah, come on up in here, man. We up here. Like,
but he's not at the door.
He's
outside.
Not at the door. He's
outside
greeting people though. I'm saying, so they should have came and said, hey, you can't stand out here. Y'all come in. Y'all come back in.
Of this establishment, the culture that has already been established, right? Anything may pop off. So as a business owner, it's your job to make sure that you do everything possible so that it doesn't pop off.
Then every place in the city should close, right? The whole city has a culture, and that means every joint in the city should close because at any given time it pops off.
If the business has a culture, and if they're not doing anything to change that culture, then they need to come up before
change
licensing
the culture of the city
to change the culture of their business.
It's a club. Come on in on this, man.
Okay, but this
come on. Don't sit this one out. Bring your ass on in. Come on.
This club. Hold on. This club with the previous owner was allowing people to sneak in, come in with their guns.
With the previous
security
owner
was being paid. Security was allowed to, hey, give me $30-$40. You can get in.
You know this for a fact, or you just heard this?
I know this for a fact.
Okay.
Yeah, I know people that have paid to have security bring their guns into that place with the previous owner.
Time out.
So that culture is already established.
Time out. Come on, Kamar, what you thinking on this? Or what? I mean, my
first thought, right, is like both of y'all are right. You know what I'm saying? Like, really. Because for one, the promoter is supposed to be able to be outside like that. You know what I mean? I heard he was putting wristbands on people's arms or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen promoters a lot of the time outside the club, you know what I mean? Watching the door. They be watching their money too when they watching the door like that. Um, you should be able to, but it's really hard to secure from a drive-by. You know what I mean? Now inside the club, yeah, you know what I mean. They totally responsible for whatever comes in that motherfucker. You know what I mean, and everybody's safety in there, and they got to do something. But it's really hard to account for a drive-by. You know what I mean?
So,
Especially like on Water Street, like with all that traffic and shit. Like you don't know who coming or what's coming, and it's really hard to account for that.
so I met with the owner. I sat down with the owner for about an hour and a half. Right?
What did he say?
I did an assessment. Right? He allowed me to take pictures. He showed me all of his new equipment to make sure that the IDs are right and they can't sneak nothing in. Right? And I told him, I said, well, I'm going to test your security. He wants me to test his security, so I'm going to do an assessment. And part of the problem after speaking with him was normally police are sitting outside that place. They're somewhere on that block. That night there was no police on that block except for further down on Water.
So that's not his fault.
So that's the issue I have too. Huh?
Okay, so now let me say this. This. Did you put your post up to take their license before or after you spoke with him?
Before.
Okay, so did you take it down and say I've since spoken with?
No.
Okay, you gonna leave it up?
No, I'm not.
So
until I'm satisfied that he has put in mechanisms to keep people safe, to do everything that he possibly can, right? So that I can say, okay, now the onus is not on him; it's on the city to work with him to keep the people safe.
I heard you talking about culture. I think the culture of the club ain't what needs to be changed. The culture of our community needs to be changed.
That needs to be changed as well.
However, hold on. Let me just put this in here because we just lost a young lady months ago. She was on 108th, and that club was egregious. What was this club? Bar 108, whatever it was. There's all over the city, all over the city, where there's black patrons that cater to a hip hop kind of scene. All have these incidents. There's not a safe club that you can go to that's going to be able to prevent every nook and cranny to be safe. So that means that the culture of this community should change. The culture of motherfuckers willing to just drive by and shoot 4 people and then say, oh, the club didn't keep us safe. The community don't keep us safe. Man, listen, you go to a club, you go to a club, you go to a bar, you go to a club, you want to be entertained, you go to have a good time. You are right. If you're inside, Kamar, you're right. If you in the bar and they letting people in with guns, or you're in the bar and it's just buck wild, boar's nest, Dukes of Hazzard type shit going on. You outside, it's downtown Milwaukee, it's the summertime, there's a party and an event going on, right? Because part of his role as a businessman is to be out there, people see his face and say, oh, there go Twan. We going up in here, dog. Or if they know, like Kamar said, hey man, I got them wristbands. Boom, let me go. We finna go to Twan and get our wristbands. So the community that has damn near 100 homicides at this point, the community in which 4 5-year-old children are being murdered, 14-year-olds being murdered, this is a community that needs some medicine, not necessarily this club. We cannot blame it on this club. It's bigger than this club, because I guarantee you, because like you said, and then the killing didn't stop after that. It went on the next day. How many people died after him? In different places, in parking lots, close the parking lots because anything could go down at any time. Go ahead, bro.
So let me answer your question, right? The culture in our city has to change, right? These business owners play a part in that too, just like parents play a part, just like pastors play a part, just like activists. Everybody has a role to play. Now, Twan was out there, he's promoting for this club, right? Wasn't no security out there with Twan.
How do you know?
because I just left the premises talking to the owner. All the security was inside.
Okay.
All the security was inside. Right. So that right there to me is signifies security lapse. Right. So that's one thing that you could have done better. Have more eyes out there.
I feel like you're splitting hairs, man.
No, I'm not splitting hairs. I'm talking about saving
lives. You're going to name everything they could have done, every little thing. They could have had more security. The police should have been there. The kid, their mama should have raised them better.
Listen,
like, this is non-specific. This is just a broad stroke.
You bought a business that has a culture of violence already.
In a city with a culture of violence, with some music that is based on violence.
You know what you're up against. So you know what you're up against, right?
And that's why I got all my security inside, because I'm responsible for the people inside.
And you have a promoter that's working with you.
Put some security on it.
And hold on. And he's going in and outside, right? Now that area outside of your business, that's a part of your business too. Those people that are standing outside, they are your responsibility too. If they're coming into your club, you have a responsibility to them too.
I don't agree.
So you telling me that
Dion, what it do, man? He said, "What up, Outlaw family?" I'm just speaking to Dion. Go ahead.
What up, Dion? So if I go to Vegas and I'm waiting to go into this club and I get jumped on by the people outside, security ain't gonna do nothing.
They better get their ass down, or they gonna get shot too.
They're not gonna let you mess up their business.
They ain't gonna let you do no drive-by. They gonna run in the street and stop the car. You know Tupac got killed in Vegas, right? You know Tupac got killed on the Vegas Strip, right?
He was on the Strip. Listen, we're talking about
Vegas is a bad example.
Thank you. We're talking about a business and on their property.
I think you. I just think you're reaching. Property. I think you look. It sounds like you just looking for somebody to blame.
That's just like my nephew at the gas station. That's just like my nephew at the gas station. That owner had a responsibility to that community
because of the security guard. The security guard worked for the owner, so that made him culpable. Yes, right. The owner. That's why he got closed down. He was wrong. That's why he lost his business. This ain't what happened here.
No. Because he didn't put the proper safety measures in, right?
Whatever it was, he was wrong. He lost his business.
Right, he lost his business.
It's splitting hairs. That's a bad comparison. It is splitting hairs because the security guard the owner hired, and he was questionable. He shouldn't have been in there. He went outside. Mm-hmm. He shot your nephew. As a result, he was incarcerated, and the gas station was closed down. That's what should have happened, because it was his security who and it was on his property still, on the store's property still.
Right.
This is in front of the club. Somebody driving down the street and just open fire.
So honestly, right, and I didn't learn this until after I spoke with the owner. It wasn't in front of his club. That owner
was nervous, and he knew to the business. He was scared. He thought you really had some pull. No, he don't know you can't stop his. You don't know you can't stop his liquor license.
He is not new to the business. He was originally from New York. He has plenty businesses here.
Right.
But Twan was not in front of Element.
Where was he?
He was next door. So
then it really ain't the club's fault.
Hold on, because now it goes back on the responsibility.
Not somebody else's fault. The people who own the building next door.
I'm not listening, man. I'm not saying that it's not the fault of the people that did the drive-by. I'm saying that owner also has a responsibility. Okay, he has just like Twan was allowed to walk away from the building to speak to people, and wasn't nobody
who was gonna stop him. I'm sure that's how he do his business. When nobody gonna tell dude, man, you can't go outside.
Listen. Twan was acting as a promoter that night. He was a part of that business.
Let me get the chat room right quick, Sean. Maria Adams said you so right. Ernest Walker said that's a public sidewalk as soon as they step on it.
No, it's not.
Sharita Shaw said, Kev, you on point. Dion says, could none have stopped that incident? The only way I see it is if the police barricaded the whole block off. Well, you just said the police who would know. First of all, this is down. Let's talk tax. Let's talk brass tacks. First of all, this is downtown Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And there, like you just said, there was no police present. Before we even hang some on the club owner, if once again, if it didn't go on inside, and you just said he had walked down the street. Now, so it falls it more so, well, whatever. It falls more so on the police then. Where was your ass at? And I keep hearing, and this is a question we got to ask tonight too. I keep hearing that the police are overwhelmed at this point, that they are understaffed, and so they're outnumbered. Let me get the chat room before we respond to that, because I want to talk about that, because I don't want to keep going back and forth about, you know, whose fault it is, because there's a lot of people who can be blamed here, up to and including the dudes who actually did it, right? One of which allegedly is in custody. Mama Jenkins in the chat room are responsible for this. Mama Jenkins said, I think what Sean is saying, that this club has been a death trap in the past. The alderman said that it has problems. I don't know, Mama Jenkins, I hear you, but once again, this is part of, let's be honest, this is part of our hip hop culture here. Think of a club. Somebody name a club, and I'll tell you an incident that got it closed down. A murder, a fight, a brawl. What our people bring this with them to the club. These kinds of clubs, these hip hop clubs where they playing, think about what they inside playing. Think about the music that we just talked about, music putting people in a trance. You in the club, you're welcoming shit, motherfucker, bust a bitch, fuck a bitch, and people twerking and dancing and shoot the motherfucker, take a pill, kill a bitch, kill a bitch. Yes, this is the type of crowd and energy it attracts. So if anything, we're going to say no more hip hop clubs in Milwaukee, because it's going to be a fight. I've never seen a peaceful hip hop club ever, especially if it's the latest and greatest, because that caters to the streets. So you're going to get street people who come into your establishment. So now, once again, this is not the only club that has these kinds of problems and these kinds of issues all over the city. And it's been going on for 40 years. So many clubs that was around 10 years ago gone because something happened there. You know what I'm saying? So I hear y'all in that it's had a history of problems, but it's also been several different clubs, right? Wasn't it like Ladybug or something like back in the day? And 618.
It's been like 3-4 clubs.
Right. So
but up until June 1st, the club was owned by this guy Habib for like 17 years. He owned a bunch of other stuff around here, right? And he, you know, proudly told me that he didn't have a problem with none of what was going on.
Surprised? Are you surprised? Like, so, what? You don't care about
that's
us?
No, but that's why I say there has to be some accountability and responsibility by these owners. And for what's called that sidewalk in front of that building, they can tell people to move around. They have that authority because they're paying.
That don't mean they own it.
They don't own it, but the lady that does own it, she is giving them that authority, man. There is no loitering in front of them.
So what about the street that the car was driving down where the shots came from? Who owned that?
And you know what? If they had allowed them to put them cars there in front of there, where the police normally sit, they probably would still be alive.
It's all good that your mind is made up that there's some culpability for this club. And you know what? I'm not totally against you, but I'm just not totally with you, because I agree with you that all businesses must have some sort of responsibility to keep patrons safe. Yes. I understand that. Yes. But we're talking about a bar. We're talking about a hip hop club at midnight where alcohol is served and people are in there with a certain mentality. And it's not like it's a country western bar. It's not an opera bar. It's a hip hop club. Hip hop, the culture of hip hop right now, we notice is genocidal. The messages that they're pumping our young people with are genocidal messages. It is directly contributing to their mental deterioration. I get that. But what I'm saying is there's no way there, and there's no spot in this city that can cover every angle. You got a bunch of grown ass people, and then you got some fools who, for what, and let's get this straight too. All the facts in this case have not come out yet. We don't know what actually provoked this shooting. We don't know if this was a situation where some brothers got put out the club or there was somebody who was standing out. I'm saying you have inside information. We don't know all the facts. Yeah. We don't know if this was retaliation. We don't know if they were shooting at somebody or if they just said, let's go downtown and shoot some people. I don't know the circumstances.
I'm going to give you some of what I found out today so that people can stop asking questions.
There you go.
Okay. They were never in the club. They came from south, so maybe Brownstone, Link, whatever. So they were never in the club. What I can only imagine, I may be wrong, I may be right, but they were spotted.
He said, "Let me give you some information." That said, "What I imagine."
Right.
That's not inside information, Sean.
So okay, so they left out of either Brownstone or Link, right? By the time they got there, those cars was already at the corner. So they out there talking. The cars came right up. Okay, whoever spotted them and called the shooters, they did that from down the street.
This is your guess. This is not actual factual. This is your guess.
This is my guess, being from used to being in that culture. Yeah.
So you actually have no clue.
If you say so.
I mean, no, Sean, I'm not saying you don't got no clue about being in the streets. I'm talking about this particular incident. Ain't nobody doubting your street credibility. You could probably plan the shit out of a good robbery, but I'm talking about this incident.
I can't. So I can only say what I just said.
And it was just all.
That's as much as I can say.
It was your hypothesis. Right, okay, that's what's up. I like put a bow on that. Because I want people to tune in and be like, "Oh, Sean just said what happened. He said the niggas called somebody from the corner." Let's wait till the facts come out. Let's wait till the facts come out.
That's not what I said.
You said something about somebody sitting on the corner. Okay, all right.
You're such a great host.
Thank you.
You're a great host.
I appreciate it, man. I take my accolades where I can get them. Mama Jenkins said, again, yes, I do blame our people, but KB, they keep giving the same people license. All they do is change the ownership. Okay. Hey, there's a million ways we can actually we can blame the club. Let's blame the club then. Let's blame them.
But I'm not blaming the club like that, right? I'm not saying that it's just a club.
You said you want his license taken. What you mean you're not blaming the club that?
Listen. That's what I said initially, right? And that's standing, and it's standing because I'm not gonna trust nobody to say that they're gonna put mechanisms in place. Then I take some away, and they never do it.
What about your guy though? Did you call Lil Buddy and ask him what his plan is? Because I know that's your partner.
Who?
Lil Buddy downtown. He's supposed to have an initiative in place, anti-violence initiative 2-3.
But why? Hold on. But why would I call him about something that the alderman controls?
Well, did you call what the aldermen say they doing? Because I'll tell you why I said that. I didn't see the alderman on TV. I seen him on TV. That's why I said call him.
This is what Bauman said. Bauman said, as of right now, if they come before him with licensing, he's going to revoke the license.
And he can do that by himself?
Well, before the committee, his recommendation is going to be
so he's
revoke the license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ewok said, ask Sean how the sidewalk ain't public. Just like the people can stand in front of that club and record in there from the public basement of public. What that say? What's that last word, y'all? Easement? I think he meant basement. Public. What is that? I can't read that word.
Because it's a business, right? That business can say no loitering, and you have to abide by that.
And you think Twan was gonna say, "Oh, I'm okay. I can't come outside."
I'm not. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Slumdog $20. Shout out to you on YouTube. He said he trying to write a script. Sean did lay that shit out like a movie. Like, okay, it's a car on the corner, right? And then it's a dude upstairs. He got a homing pigeon, and then the pigeon flew. I'm just fucking with you, Sean.
Listen, man. Listen, for real, KB. I was down there an hour and a half. I walked that block with that man. I went inside. I took pictures of the inside, the out, every corner, every camera, every spot in that club. Listen to that man, ask questions, listen for tales, re-ask questions a different way, re-ask questions again a different way, right? Because I want to understand where he was at with this. before I say, okay, F you, or I'm going to listen to you, right? Just like, I believe in second chances for us. I believe in second chances. I do. If you are really sincere, and you care about my people, right? I give you hey, I won't try to cut your throat off.
Mama Jenkins says, as of now, no one, not even those people that are alive, are giving a cause for this shooting. Sharita Shaw says, stop it, Kev. I'm cracking the fuck up. Sean makes me laugh, man. Because I understand his passion, but Sean to jump out the window, man. You got to watch out, man. Sean's a professional window jumper. He will jump, man. Y'all got to be careful.
I thought about this.
First of all, let's say this, because I don't know if we said
this.
I don't know if we said this. First of all, rest in peace to that brother. He had children. Condolences to his family. But rest in peace to everyone. There's many victims. He wasn't the only victim. Like you said, there was another brother who was shot, a 39-year-old, and I seen people giving him tribute saying he also was a well-known figure around the city, that he had a lot of love in his neighborhood, and he passed away the next day. So like that's why I said this is bigger than this club. And the behavior of our community after this incident, we were supposed to all be sad, so you'd have thought it would have been a moratorium on violence. Nah. Guns kept busting. So that's why I said it's bigger than the club. Go ahead, Kamara. See, you came off mute.
Yeah, I was just finna say, you know what I mean? I just think it's more emphasis because Tweezy is who he was. He knew so many people. You know what I mean? So you got more people, you know what I mean, more than him than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Which is unfortunate also.
Right.
You know, but it's hard, you know, when you mourning the death, it's hard to divert attention elsewhere.
I get it. I mean, it's like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just something that happens, you know what I mean? So it's good that, you know what I mean, brothers mention it. You know what I'm saying? It was somebody else that lost his life that night also. Bubs was his name on Facebook. Dubs. I didn't know the brother personally, but I know his name now.
Yeah, I seen it too. I was like, okay. You know, that's what I'm saying. When I think about 4-year-olds, when I think about 44, 45-year-olds, early in the morning, you wake up, the murder scene. I'm saying that's why I say, okay, we can close this club, right? But is that really going to change anything? I'm looking for things that are going to change the mentality. And
so what it might do though,
and closing clubs, because they've been closing clubs for years. How many? What? We ain't really got no strip clubs left, because shit goes down. We just look right in front of that bar. The security guard was in the door. Remember this a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago at Gold Diggers, shot the bullets. They shot into the club. So now I don't know what those owners is doing. Like I've heard whatever. It's a strip club. I would expect nothing less. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, once again, this is a culture. We got to this point where now we done went to doing goddamn drive-bys again like it's the fucking 80s.
I ain't with that shit.
I mean, it's a sick mentality, and I don't have the answer for it. So I'm not gonna be up on here telling people. I know I've talked to brothers since this. All these weekends have been bloody so far this summer. I got the solution right here. I can tell them what to do. I know how to fix it. Come on, have you heard some brothers saying like, yeah, I can fix this shit. I know how to. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you can't. No, you don't. You're not ready. No, you don't have the answer. This is a sick culture in this city. You heard my ass say gentrification might be the solution. I said that. I said it out of my mouth. Because I don't know no other way to clean this sick. What do you do when somebody's sick, right? Come on, don't you say you take a detox, right? Get rid of all the shit that's backed up in you, right?
Right.
Maybe the city need a detox. Maybe we got to flush so we can get rid of some of this shit and say, okay, now let's build a community of like-minded individuals who want peace and tranquility. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not even talking about some kind of utopia or something. I'm just saying there's an element in our community that has to be removed. And I think a lot of us enable it because we're not, as a culture, really standing up against this. We're not standing up against ourselves.
I don't know if you read what I said, but I said I'm not saying rest in peace no more.
Okay.
Because saying rest in peace is accepting that shit, right? I accept that, that man is gone and he in a better place. Hold on. No, fuck he ain't. That man was living his life. That man was enjoying life. And that man's life was cut short. The 4-year-old didn't even get a chance to live yet. Ain't nobody resting in peace, and they had a violent death. They were killed. They were murdered. They were beaten to death. No, but we have become so.
It's crazy.
So accepting of what's not normal. Death is natural.
I don't know.
That don't mean it.
I don't know if we accept it.
That death has to be normalized.
I don't know if we accept it, but I feel like a lot of us are just clueless as to what to do about it. Like most black people I know really feel bad about this shit because, like I said, it's summer. This is the best time to live in Milwaukee, and we all feel some kind of way about it. But like I said, most of us just don't have the solution, and we just don't have the power or authority to change things that should be changed, like bringing some economic empowerment and some kind of economic development plan in here. And things of that nature. I see all these people trying to go around the problem instead of attacking poverty. You want to try to do everything except attack poverty, and you have no plan. That's why I said you should call your little buddy and say, man, these people is broke, man. They desperate. They living like wolves. Can we get some economic empowerment? What you got on deck so I can take it to the people?
So I got a mentor, right? Financial mentor. And he broke something down to me. I'm actually writing some stuff up because, if I can get some people to trust each other and come up with maybe $6,000-7,000 in two months, they'll be on their way to building generational wealth.
You got a DVD
we'll talk about
that you got
we'll
a DVD that you can sell me with?
Well, no, listen.
Let me
People
get that
already
DVD,
doing
man.
it, right? No, really.
I'm fucking with you, man.
People already doing it,
right?
But none of them look like us.
Okay.
None of them look like us, right?
Yeah, in terms of financial literacy, sure, they sure don't.
And it's right there, man, for people that want to take the time to study it, right? To read it. It's right there, laid out for you. Don't want to take that time. We want somebody else to read it for us and make me understand what you telling me.
Right.
No, I can't make you understand what you need to get in that book and understand. Now, once you read it, if you don't fully comprehend it, if I have a better comprehension and I've comprehended it more, then maybe we can discuss it and figure it out. But I can't read it for you, write it down for you, put the money up for you, and then let you get the dividends and I did all the fucking work.
This is Ewok in the chat room. He says, the club owner can't be responsible for everything. What the fuck else can they do sometimes? It's just fucked up. They get full blame after they invested so much and then went the right way acquiring it. He's speaking on behalf of the owners in this situation. Dion is in the chat room. He says, man, it's been crazy in the mill lately. And I understand why people are upset because this is usual for all this violence. I think he means unusual for all this violence to be going down in such a small town. I'm from a place called,
it's not unusual.
I'm finna say I'm from a place called a spot called the 90s and the 80s where we got used to this real early on in my life. So I mean, not this much, but it was still, even for them times, it was shocking a lot of times. Like, damn, like when this little bitty ass, and it's the north side primarily, north to northwest side. He said, man, it's been crazy in the mill lately. Okay, I read that one, y'all. My bad. Earl Henning said, yes, sir. Love us chocolate milk. Boom. Mama Jenkins said, detox the whole fucking city. Just leave us. Okay. So I wasn't wrong. Earl Henning said he will only give you a day in this city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah, he'll give you a day. He gave Snoop one. Somebody call Snoop. Snoop, what should we do? Ewok said, give out more licenses and put some distance between the clubs. There are more options available. They get one motherfucker spot one time and everybody want to be there jammed together. Yeah, that's true too. And it's like I said, it's that group of people that, listen, let's be honest. I love hip hop, y'all. I love rap music. It is the soundtrack to my life. I shouldn't say rap music is, but hip hop is. I mean, from ages I can't even remember and up to being a grown man, hip hop has been my cultural contribution to history, our generation. But it brings dark energy together sometimes. And when it's the gutterest of gangster rap and club songs, it's going to bring all those people in those communities who feel like those rappers are talking to them. It's going to bring them all together and put them in the same room. So we got to understand, you bringing all these different dark energies together and it's just exploding every time. And you adding alcohol to it. Psst.
So let me give you this. Let me just interject right quick, right? Because like I said earlier, this is on everybody. You got a club and there's people in there and you didn't hire people, right? They know these people. And this week he clowning. He come back next week, he clowning, right? Back in, right? He come back again the next week, end up killing somebody. And the club owner doesn't have any responsibility of that, even though he saw, let's say for a month, he demonstrated that he was a fucking problem. But I keep letting him in because he's spending money and he bringing other motherfuckers that have these adverse behaviors, have these fucking problems, and they spending money. So I turn my attention somewhere else because they spending money. And it's just like that on the block. Because they have a couple dollars, I ain't gonna say nothing because they my guy. Or that's my boyfriend and his people, right? No, that's on them too. We have to start holding everybody fucking accountable, right? They don't have to let people in them clubs. They don't. They don't, but you choose to. You choose to say, okay, I'm gonna let 21-year-olds in instead of, okay, I'm gonna make it a 30 and older crowd.
So where the 21-year-olds gonna go? Because wherever they go, wherever they're, and we can't just blame it on 21-year-olds because there have been. We just had Mr. J's, which was a bar for old people. It was a jar. It was a bar for us. You know how many fights? Security got murdered. You know, there's 44-year-olds shooting 47-year-olds. I mean, we can't put it all on the kids. That's why I said it's cultural. It's a sickness in our minds, in our mindset right now, where these guns have just become like secondary to us. Like back in the days, a gun was unique. Like you said, man, this motherfucker got a gun. And I knew some real live criminals. If he had anything bigger than a 45, you was like, dude, this dude is dirty hairy. Nobody ain't want to be around this dude. These dudes got switchies and like AK-47s with drums on them. So once again, how is the access to these weapons? How are they so readily available? We just lost a police officer. Okay, a young black police officer who was murdered by AR-15, which was assembled from different places and parts. This is how slick it is.
You asked a rhetorical question, bro.
What's that?
How are they so accessible? The law makes them accessible. Once you reach a certain age, without
do you know what rhetorical means?
Get anything you want.
Do you know what rhetorical means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
You answered your own fucking question.
No. You said I said how is the access so it is easy for them to access these weapons?
Okay, my bad.
Now that is not a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is a question that's asked with no real intentions for an answer.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So,
you're right. I just said you was right. Ken.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I understand.
You know, I misunderstood your question, bro. All right.
You repeated the question verbatim, but it's good. It's good, big homie. It's good, big homie.
And it's an honorary. So bro.
Because where I was going is that the gun was assembled from different spots, and they even blamed our brother Eddie Silas and Prolific Firearms, which is probably the only black-owned gun store, and said that the lower unit was purchased from him. and he came in and said, no, that's not true. That wasn't the truth. So I'm saying you can say, okay, y'all can't get a gun over here. So somebody can buy a piece of a gun and buy another piece of it, and now you got an assault rifle, and then now 2 officers are shot and 1 dies. That's an issue.
So your question was to make a statement, right?
Well, not really, unless you can pinpoint exactly where the guns are actually coming into the state at. It's like,
they're
no.
coming into the state legally. What are you talking about?
You think all these guns are legal? They got to be illegal. These ain't...
Listen, they become illegal after a point, but, bro, you don't have to, as long as you do not have a felony, you can buy a gun. You can buy as many guns as you want to.
These ain't legal gun owners. These are straw purchases. That makes it illegal from the moment you get it.
I didn't say that they were buying the guns. I said that it's legal to buy the guns. So of course you're gonna have straw buyers, right? You're gonna have people getting guns that shouldn't have guns since they made more accessible.
My brother, if you make a straw purchase, that gun is illegal from the time you walk out the store with it. If you bought it, and it says it in the paperwork that you signed, if you get this gun and give it to somebody else, it is illegal.
If I buy it with the intentions of keeping it, okay, and then I sell it later on, I never had the intentions of a straw buyer.
Sell it to who?
That intent is not there.
Sell it to who? On the street or back to the? Because I've sold guns back to the gun store before. Let me see if I can bring this caller in, y'all.
When there's nothing in place.
Caller, hold on, Sean. We got another caller. Hold on, Sean. We got another caller. Let me see if we can bring him in. Caller, you got to turn your device down. Who this?
This is Joe.
What up, Joe?
Hey, how you doing? I see you talking about guns. You know, you got 3D printers. There's no stopping guns.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Yeah, I agree with the straw purchases and illegal guns and possession and all that. But you were talking about a cultural thing. It is a cultural thing. So, you got white people, Mexicans, of every race doing this thug culture. Let's kill people, let's do this. And nobody's educating them. That's not the life to go. And it's always going to end in tragedy for every race, everybody.
Okay.
That makes sense?
That makes total sense. Yes, it does.
So, you know who I am. I'm a South Sider.
I know who you are. I know who you are.
Yeah,
I know exactly who you are.
So back in the 90s, man, the South Side was known for gang bangers. And there were not many black people on the South Side. There was Native Americans, white people, Cuban, Dominicans, and there was a lot of drugs going on. So cartels type things. And the North Side had the murder mob and their own gangs. But the South Side was very gang related, and people feared the South Side in the 90s. So, you know, and I was there during that times, and I was put in the streets as a child. So I had to grow up like that, unfortunately. But yeah, it is a cultural thing. And like Scarface said, you know, don't believe that song. Gangsters don't live that long, right?
Okay. Absolutely. That's true. He did say that. One of my favorite Scarface songs.
True, yeah. So it's a cultural thing. Yeah, we love hip hop in the 90s and the 80s, but you know, when it comes down to this drill music, murder, and just let's see how many people we kill, and we're the king and this and that. That's an issue, and it's a cultural thing, and that affects the black community the most, but it affects everybody.
And when I say culture, I'm not talking about race. I'm not saying, race. I'm talking
exactly my point.
I'm talking about norms. Yeah. I'm talking about beliefs. I'm talking about mindsets within a community. I do also understand that when you pack all of the poorest people into a tight area, which is basically what's happened on the North Side, you have most of the poorest people in this city living within a 2, 3, 4, 5 mile radius of each other. It is bound to be chaos. And any race that you take, I don't care what race it is, if you take all their poor and put them in a little corner and they got to fight for the same resources, it's going to be the same result. It's going to be violence. It's going to be all kinds of degradation, all kinds of subjugation. So when I say cultural, I mean a mental thing for us to say we have to outlawing, right? We got to start saying to our people, it's not cool. That shit's not cool. Like I do this with my own son when he listens to this music and I say, do you understand what he's actually saying? Do you understand the message he's giving you? He's talking about this, that, and the third. We have these conversations. We need to have these conversations with our youngsters on the whole and deprogram them, because I know this for a fact. A lot of our young people, and young people grow into old people, right? So you got some grown people now. I'm saying these 30-year-olds, these 40-year-olds who are out here, they were once the 20-year-olds. They were once the 15-year-olds who was reckless, right? So if we can get to the babies, that prevents the bad flowers from growing. I don't know what it's going to take to change the culture. I'm just saying I recognize that our mentality has to change. Like, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I keep saying gentrification is the solution, but the reality is it's already happening. It's already happening. It's already in motion. I just want my people to see it and say, and not act surprised, like, what the fuck going on? You know what happened. We had prime real estate. We had the North Side, Chocolate City, as I call it. I grew up in the greatest neighborhood in the world back in the days. Homeowners, business owners, entrepreneurs, educators, laborers, beautiful community full of black homeowners, big fine Lincolns and Cadillacs everywhere. Crack came in, tore the whole thing down. We have not recovered from that. So we ain't looking at the fact that we got prime real estate sitting right on the expressway, right by the stadium, right on the lakefront, right by downtown, right by the Fiserv. And you know who wants that land? Young millennials who are venture capitalists, who have money to come in and say, oh, this house was actually designed by a famous architect, and it's just sitting here and it's just deteriorating. I'm going to put some money in. You know what that does when they make that purchase and get it assessed? It drives up the property taxes. It drives up the property value. And so
what about individual achievement? What about saying fuck being as a community and being individual achievement? Put money into SP 500 for your children when they're young, $1,000 that builds over the years. Teach them to start their own business instead of being a 9-to-5. Instead of being a 9-to-5 person, start your own business. I had a landscaping business I started in 2018. I cut down trees, make $2,000 a day. Start learning how to get off the 9-to-5 grid and be a business, start businesses, and then move your way into investment.
We got a gifted entrepreneur on the show. I don't have anything against entrepreneurship, but the one thing I can tell you is
everybody has to start.
Everybody can't
like a
be
9-to-5 and then work your way up.
Gotta work. Some people ain't entrepreneurs.
That's true.
They gotta work.
Yeah.
So get your ass up and go get you a job and work your way up in the job and stop bitching and moaning. Or what you can do is get your job, save your money, get your credit right, and then start you a business. But to just tell people jump out here, go start a business with what? Most of these people ain't even got a rag to wipe their ass with, much less than starting a business. It takes capital to start a business. And so that's what I'm saying. It has to be a shift. Now, you just hit on an important part of this. It is largely economic. It is definitely economic. We got the working poor. People are income deprived. They spending more money than anything on just to have somewhere to stay. That is affecting our children because you ain't got time to go to PTA meetings because you work 2 jobs and your ass still live below the poverty line. So it's economic. But internally, our family structure in our community has to come back into play somehow, some way. We don't value each other no more like we used to. It ain't no love for, it's all hate. Go ahead, Sean.
That's it's cool to start a business.
Right.
It is, right? But we got to stop thinking about just starting businesses and how to turn those businesses into corporations and start really building generational wealth. It's cool to own a business, but
that's what he said.
If I can get 5, 6, 7, 8 other people and we start some banks and show other people how to become their own banks. I mean, really banks, and then fund their own businesses without those taxes and all that other shit.
Well, you could start a business, and when you first start off, you could start a business and just collect cash, fuck the system until you get, and then you can do what you got to do. But I mean, you got to hustle too.
That's going about it like regular business owner, which is.
Hold on, we got Kamar. Kamar is the biggest entrepreneur on the show.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with that.
Go ahead, Kamar.
Anything's wrong with that.
Right. And this is another one of those situations. Y'all are right. You know what I'm saying? Because see, only way you could teach your child to be an entrepreneur is if you're an entrepreneur and you doing it already. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, he's right. You know what I mean? Now, if you growing up in a house where you haven't learned about nothing like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to go get a job and figure it out from there. You know what I mean? The way most people do. And sometimes you got to work a job to build some money up to start that business.
Yeah, that's how you start when you come from poverty,
you know what
man.
I mean?
You got to start from scratch and build it up. I don't care if you got to hit food pantries. I don't care if you got to pay and live in the hood for 15 years to save all your money. That's how you're going to start, man. You got to start from the bottom. And before I got
question, look, brother.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
And hopefully your kids can grow into whatever business you got going on. So they not even starting.
Once you get that money, you put that money for your children. You put that money in the SP500 when they're born. And that goes up over the years.
Let me ask you. Everybody talking over each other. Sean, hold on. Y'all can't talk over each other. Y'all just and it might be a delay. There might be a delay on Kamar's end. I know, and I don't. That's why I don't want people to talk over each other. That's why I'm trying to make sure everybody's heard. Who was it? Sean, was you done, Kamar?
Go ahead.
Sean, go ahead.
So, what if I can show you, Kamar, and 3 other people? First and foremost, if you got $2,000 and it's 5 of y'all, right? Because you can start a business with $10,000 if you're serious, right?
What business are we starting? What
I
business
started my landscaping business before I got my lawsuit. So I started my landscaping business in 2017. I used Google, YouTube, and everything I had to, and started from I bought a mower, I bought this, I bought that, I bought a chainsaw, one thing at a time, and built my way up doing jobs. And I built my own business. And now today it's an LLC. Now I have a real landscaping business prior to my lawsuit. So, and I lived on 22nd and Mineral on the south side, and I paid $450 a month for rent in the hood. And I did what I had to do. I hit food pantries. I did what I had to do, and I bought all my cars in cash. No giving these people interest payments, anything. I bought a little hoopty truck, did my thing, worked my way up, and I learned overall there's SP500. You can invest your money for your children. And the thing is, you can do all this if you're a single man, but if you have children or women have 2, 3 children, it's difficult, right? I understand that. But as a single man, if you're not hustling, you're not learning what a computer in your hand, Google and all that, then what the hell are you doing with your life? Nothing. And hard work. Not everybody can be a hard worker and do this, but if you're a hard worker, you want to work 12, 15-hour days and start from scratch and go to food pantry and hustle, you can work your way up. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Sean.
So, would you say that you invested what, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000?
A landscaping business, you get a truck and a trailer and everything, and some equipment, some chainsaws. About $10,000. About $10,000 to start off. Good. $8,000, $10,000.
Let me ask you this:
you advertise on Craigslist and you advertise on Facebook. You work your way up, and you're your own boss.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: if I could show you where, with that $10,000. Right?
John is killing me tonight.
In 6 months, well, you know what? 3 months, you'll have access to about $150,000. How much would you pay me?
Well, I don't know about that, man. That sounds like a scam. But
hey, look, Sean, you know what this sounds like? Your sales pitch sounds like every time I'm on YouTube, or Facebook, and they go advertisement and be somebody like, what if I told you if you had $5, you could make $1,000? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm laughing.
After we get off the air,
that's why I'm laughing. Hold on. It sounds like a sales pitch, like the advertisement that you skip on YouTube when they be like, hey, what if I told you? So, but I want to ask Kamar a question, because I want to ask Kamar this question because he was on the show. He hadn't started his business yet, right? He was doing what he had to do. He had a job. He was taking care of his child. He was coming up with his products. He was going through all these major steps, right? And he just dropped, by the way, but he'll come back. But I wanted to ask him how long it really took him of investing and hustling before it finally hit and said, boom. All right, now, because I remember him calling me saying, dude, I quit my job today. Today, it's all about my business. I'm not working for nobody else. So I want to give people an idea, because, we can say you should be an entrepreneur. You should start your own business. But also you have to understand that there are certain regulations, and you got to understand how to pay tax. I heard the brother say get taken cash. But eventually, if you have a business, you're going to have to deal with some taxes. And if you ain't paid taxes or you get fucked up with the taxes, you're going to lose that business. You're going to be right back working at KFC. So it's a whole understanding. I would encourage people to go to MATC and take some entrepreneurship classes. I would say learn it. Don't lead. See, when we tell people don't work, don't go to school, don't get a job, they think that means, well, I shouldn't be learning nothing. Learning is your friend. Knowledge is your friend.
Can we have a conversation after this?
Of course, but just do me one favor. Sean, just do
you and Kamar have a conversation.
Just do me one favor, Sean.
I want to share something with
when we talk, just don't start the call out by saying, what if I told you if you had $20?
I'm going to break it down to you. I'm gonna send you to the information.
Okay.
And once I tell you what it is, you like, damn, you're right.
Okay. Oh, you know can call me anytime. Why are you saying can we have a conversation? All you gotta do is call me, nigga.
We know the information, but we think that we can't do it.
Learn. This is Earl Henry in the chat room. He said, learn, it will change your life. Education is the key. John Fletcher, another entrepreneur. What up, John? With EPU Self-Defense, man. He said, what up, family? We need it from all fronts. We have to attack this problem from all fronts: music, churches, school, government, laws, etc. Sharita said, yep. She's agreeing with somebody on the panel. Jeff Crape, what it do down in Texas, man? He said, Jeff Crape, he said, what up, fam? Prayers to my city. Love y'all, man. Absolutely, man. It's crazy right now in the city. But all we get is excuses from downtown. And then we get these kind of messages to us on what we need to do as citizens. And I do understand, because everybody loves to throw the word accountability around, which is fine. And I think it's absolutely needed. But it seems like they're shifting accountability on us when they ain't taking none for themselves. Like my brother Sean mentioned, where was the patrols downtown? When somebody's allowed to come flying up the street downtown and open fire on a crowd of people, and they didn't catch them. There was no pursuit,
and they
nothing.
Drove right towards the other police, bro.
Okay.
They went right towards the other police on water.
The police in Milwaukee's been neutered, bro, and that's the problem with defund the police, and that's what happened. Period.
Yeah, that's neutered.
You either want police or you don't want police. Now, when the motherfuckers crying they don't want police, look what's going on.
Well, see,
you can't have the cake and eat it too. It's one or the other.
I've never been one to say defund the police. I think that's an asinine statement unless you support anarchy. And I do hear some of my people say, well, we should police ourselves. I've said many times, I don't think we're ready for that. But it might be a question of some training. And I'm saying this, y'all, and this is, I want to be respectful, because I'm a person, I don't believe in being disrespectful, especially to the dead. I wonder about the training that our police officers in Milwaukee actually have. I haven't been to the academy.
Nothing.
I don't know what the curriculum is, but my case in point is Saturday. Yes, I went to get my son from work, 124th and Capitol. You cannot get down 124th and Capitol at all. It's blocked off from every way. And I'm thinking, man, what the hell done happened now? But what it was the funeral procession for the young brother who was murdered, the young police officer, right? And I started to notice when I started seeing all these police from Walworth, Oconomowoc, like all these different places. I'm like, nah, this got to be something else. My point in all this is that the training that this young brother and his partner had didn't tell them to go to a call for a shooting on 25th and Garfield, a reported shooter who is now hidden in the alley. I don't understand why and I'm not saying this would have saved their lives or saved his life, because God has a plan. Why you didn't have your vest on? What does a training say? Hey, there's a shooter, he's hiding, vest up, let's get our guns out and shine these bright ass lights before we go up in this alley. I'm not saying that would have saved him, but I'm just saying, is that something that they trained them on? First of all, if I hear 25th and Garfield for anything, it could have been a rock. I would have put my vest on. You see the cop in Shorewood, he got shot. What did he have on? He hadn't even got out the car. He had his vest on. So I'm like Sean now. I'm kind of blaming them for their training. So I'm kind of splitting hairs, but I think it's a valid question to say, why didn't they wait for backup? Because I'm sure gonna be like, yo, he's roaming somewhere around here in the dark. Hey, we need backup over here. We need to drive a car. We'd have drove our car down that alley with that bright ass light on as opposed to walking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's easy to armchair quarterback, and they say hindsight is 20/20. But I'm questioning the training. Like when I see them mishandle situations, and I'm like, well, is there no training for that? But I guess, like I said, they're saying they're overwhelmed. Now, Kamar, before you dropped, I had asked you a question about Did you get the question before you dropped or what?
No, I didn't get the question, but I just wanted to tap in on that right quick.
Okay.
You know, the brothers went in there, you know what I mean, onto the scene like that. I ain't saying this is why. I'm just saying, like, okay, we was asking before, like, you hear people, how come they didn't have their guns out or something like that? You know what I mean? But shouldn't we want police that's willing to go into situations and that can talk a situation down? Because we talk about police in our own community. Like, if we'd have went out there, if one of us had went out there, how differently would we have handled it? Because I don't think it's just that it was the police or he was looking to ambush no police. I think he was willing to shoot any opposition that came out.
He said he didn't even know it was the police.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a lie.
So you know what I'm saying? I think
that's another issue where they don't let us defend our own neighborhoods. They don't want us to defend our own neighborhoods, bro.
Hold on, let him finish.
All right.
We always talk about how the police come in our community gung ho, ready to shoot. You know what I mean? Then we also be able to police our own. I think this is kind of an example of black police going in. You know what I mean? In a smoother way. It didn't turn out in their favor at all.
The only counter to that is I would say you're going into a dark alley and you're there for a shooting. Just vest up, not with your gun out, Kamar, but vest up at least.
Yeah, at least, yeah, please.
Yes, I agree.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get this right. Joe, are you still with us?
Yes, I was trying to say that the blue cities won't let people defend themselves either. You know what I mean? Like law-abiding citizens defend themselves, stand your ground, and et cetera. I think that's a thing that in all this crime that we need. I mean, I don't know. You got to defend yourself, but we can't just depend on the police. I mean, that's obvious.
I just think this is the whole alley thing on 25th and Garfield throws me. Just because I know where that is, and I know it's
it's out of control, man.
What you say about it, Kamar?
I said I don't want to drive down that alley in daylight.
Thank you. Dion, you with us, man? Dion, you with us tonight?
Yes, I'm here. Hey, fellas. This is Dion. How you doing? What it do, bro?
What's going on, Dion?
Nothing. Just sitting back listening to you guys, and I was now listen, Karen. Remember I told you I don't think that boy did that to that police on purpose. But it come to find out that he thought there was some niggas trying to ambush him. But this is the part that's going to hurt him right here. He better hope them white folks don't try to find a way to make that federal. Because you know Donald Trump want to get people to kill police officers, the death penalty. And it could turn into a field case because of the weapon he had.
Okay. I mean, I haven't thought about that.
It could turn into a fair case because of that weapon that he had.
Even if it does, who cares? He deserves the darkest of darkest cells in the jailest of jealous jails. Like at this point,
you know what? I agree with you.
Nah, he can go. And then that's a piss poor ass excuse. Where I didn't know they was police. So you saying anybody who, like Kamar said, anybody, it could have been an old lady taking a shortcut, taking her garbage out. You'd have blew her ass away. You really need to be removed from the community. Get rid of your ass. This is the type of person that we need out of here. You just gonna hide in the dark in the alley and say, next motherfucker coming here getting shot. Dude, you're an animal. You need to be removed. I don't listen, go to hell with some gasoline draws.
Damn, kid, dude called him an animal, told him to go to hell.
Go play. Go play catch on.
Let's look at his toxicology reports.
Yeah, well, he won't get high no more. He won't get high no more unless he's getting high in the pen and giving up his tootie hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gonna be begging for ramen noodles. Yeah. I've been in the pen.
There you go.
That's crazy. Broke ass motherfuckers life away over a young lady though. You know what I'm saying? Out there arguing, man. That's
bullshit.
That's insane.
Sharita Shaw said, hypothetically speaking, did the police identify themselves? Maybe they were identifying themselves. Maybe this dude was high and he didn't hear him because he said he didn't know. But if they saying it's the police, and how didn't he know they was the police? That's why he ran, ain't it? He was in the alley. You seen the police? Man, go to hell, man. I'm sorry, bro. I have this shouldn't even be no trial.
You know what? They kept using the word ambush. So I think maybe he got the ups on them.
Absolutely. From the bushes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got the ups on them because they kept using the word ambush.
Yikes. Woo, man.
So he's seen them. That's what you're saying.
He said he's seen somebody. He just didn't know who it was. I don't know if he could see or not, but it's not hard to say.
Was he in the street with a rifle? Wasn't he?
He was in the alley hiding, allegedly. And once again, we
with
don't
a rifle in the alley. Okay.
He's walking down the street at first with the gun shooting in the air. That's what the call was for. That's what I'm saying. As soon as I hear a shooter, live shooter on the loose, hey man, vest up, bro. Let's get these shotguns out. We finna walk in this. Come on, me and you walking down that alley back to back with them shotguns and them flashlights. I'm not saying that would have prevented the death, right? Because God has a plan. I'm just saying, like Sean said, take precaution, right? Like, I mean, be safe, right?
Sure.
I mean, Earl Henning says, so it's not mandatory that they have it on when they are on duty. It must not be. And it's
it needs to be. Shit, it needs to be.
But who said that they wasn't wearing that?
Well, apparently, allegedly, they said he got shot up in his chest was where the main wounds were. I just assume he didn't have it.
Listen, these cops ain't trained at all. Believe me, I know these cops ain't trained at all, and some of them don't even know how to use assault rifles and shit. They don't got no training.
Wow.
Period.
Sean, what was you finna say?
I know for a fact.
You said what?
You was finna ask. You said, how did I know he didn't?
Yeah.
I just assumed they didn't. You right. I'm assuming that they didn't because it was chest wounds and that's what killed him.
And I'm looking at it. Okay, he in the bushes, and they coming past, right? He ain't got no handgun.
Let me tell you the truth about the situation. It doesn't matter if he.
Hold on, Joe.
I know, but it doesn't matter if he was right or wrong. The cops, it doesn't matter. They're gonna smoke this dude. It doesn't matter either way. Period. That's how they roll, and you know that.
So
I don't know that they went back there to shoot him because they didn't have their guns out. They wasn't ready for drama.
I'm saying even if it was on his side, it doesn't matter. They're gonna cover it up and throw it away. It doesn't matter if they did
video.
Is it?
No, I didn't see it, but
y'all see the video?
The video of the
so
him walking with the gun.
Video then.
Okay.
Let me explain the video of the police. Right? They got out the car. They had their flashlights. They had their guns out. And I'm not sure, but you know, shit. When was the last time you seen the police without their vest on? Okay. The young man did not have a handgun. He had a rifle.
He had an AR-15. Yes.
An AR-15. So if it went in from the side,
if right, you're right. If right.
I mean,
right, no doubt.
So we got to think about it, and he's seen that car pulling up. He's seen that car pulling up, man. We ain't gonna play no games, right? They had their flashlights up on that camera. Where they show him walking down the street, you see him holding the flashlight.
I didn't see the video, so thank you.
Well, let me explain how the Milwaukee police works for you real easily. Whether they're right or wrong, they are going to cover it up, no matter what. It's called litigation. You can't talk. Prove your case in court. That's how it works. Prove your case in court. It's litigation. They will cover up whether it's justified or not. That's how it works. That's just plain and simple. That's how it works. And Internal Affairs, City Hall, the mayor, they will all cover up a police shooting, whether it's justified or not. That's just the way it is. You got to prove your case in court. And this dude is cooked no matter what because he killed a cop, period.
And he should be. He should be. I
guess so.
He absolutely should be. Listen, once again, this is the very element that causes something like a drive-by shooting. These are the very kinds of individuals that will shoot into a crowd and kill a young OG Tweezy. These are the individuals that'll get in a shootout with somebody and be straight mentally incapacitated, that it might be children playing or in cars, or you shooting into a home. You don't know if the baby's sitting on the living room floor. You are a savage. You need to be removed from our community. I don't care if you got drugs, you on drugs. I don't care if you didn't have no daddy. I don't care if your grandmother sodomized you. I don't give a shit. I need to take you out the community. You are a problem. I don't want to see your face on no t-shirt talking about free No, lock his ass up in the Moore cell. Like, I know, and this is hypothetically speaking from my neighborhood. A crime occurred a long time ago in which a barbershop was robbed, and one of the barbers, I don't know if he tried to fight back, but he apparently stabbed this individual. This individual turns around, shoots him dead. This barbershop had been in our community for the better part of 40 years. This man had been cutting there for 25 years. Now, that incident happened maybe 15, 20 years ago. I seen some of my partners who I grew up with, and I ain't gonna say no names, with a picture of him in court talking about free my homie. No, don't free your homie. Leave your homie up there. This the kind, that's what I'm saying. A shift in the culture, a shift in the mentality of, man, let dude out. Why? Do you know what he done? Free Ray Ray. Fuck that. Extend Ray Ray's time. We're cheerleaders for foolishness, but then we want all this kind of rewards and all this kind of advancement and progressiveness, but we'll turn around and say, oh man, let him out, even though he murdered somebody. I told you, the very fact that we worship drug dealers right now, we watch movies and series, and they pumped metric tons of crack cocaine into our community, and they're heroes now. You a legend in the game.
I heard the Jewish people are behind that. Is that true or not?
I'm sure Jewish people are, because Jewish people own everything entertainment based, especially when it comes to how we move. Come on, man. We know that. I don't have proof of that. You trying to get me canceled, right? But I'm just saying.
Nah, I ain't trying to get you canceled. I'm just telling you what's going on, man. That's what
we
people
know
say.
For a long time, Jewish people have a very big hand in entertainment. Just watch the credits. You're going to see Walensky and Goldstein and all that at the end of the show. I'm just saying we as a people celebrate that, though. We love that. BMF, Black Mafia. This dude sold crack from Michigan to Atlanta and ruined tons of families. And he's a hero.
We like the underdog, though. We like the underdog, man.
It's like the government. Hey, everything that you're saying going on in the black community, like they're destroying every community now. Like it's like their hands out. Like fuck it, let's just let 20 million motherfuckers in here and do whatever they want. And the liberals keep letting criminals out of jail. Look at Dugan in Milwaukee. The judges are just letting motherfuckers out on murder, probation, do whatever they want to do, and that's the liberal way. So what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I don't believe in partisan politics, and I don't give a fuck whether it's Republican or Democrat, because I think they all assholes. We are identified as the party pooper because we poop on both parties. And if people want to blame liberals, listen, there was some need for change under the last president. There was some need for change in the president before him, and the president before him, and the president before him. And there's damn sure some need for change with this goddamn president we got now. He is a white nationalist. His interest is only in people who are wealthy and rich. And one thing I promise, I will never argue about Trump with nobody else. I'm not here to argue about Trump. I'm just watching. Why not? Because it's a circular.
He's giving every child that's born $1,000 in SB 500.
It's a circular
that's
conversation
called generational wealth.
that goes nowhere. And I'm not going to argue about Trump on this show, especially with a Trump supporter. I'm not going to get into it from a partisan politic perspective, because I'm more worried about my people than I am about some politicians. And when I look
at Obama? He pushed gay marriage to legalize that, and
he also
pushed that in African countries and suppress African countries.
He also sang one hell of a Al Green song. George Bush bombed the shit out of some people. George Bush bombed the shit out of some people and never found a weapon of mass destruction, and he was white. They've all done something bad. They're all fucked up in the head. Ronald Reagan allowed tons of crack cocaine into our country. So they all are shitty. They all bums.
So which
busters.
country is the best for Black Americans and people that are poor?
The best country for Black Americans,
is it not the United States?
The best place for Black Americans, as far as I can see it, is in my house and me being here and not on the street getting shot up. That's the best place.
It
ain't
for Russia. It ain't South America.
Hey, I'm an American. I'm a
Africa.
Foundational Black American. I identify as an American. I'm not saying, you ain't gonna hear me talking about I'm moving back to Africa.
We all Americans.
We don't even say that shit. So
I'm saying all across the world. Where is it the best?
It's not a question about what's the best.
The UK is being destroyed by Muslims. Africa is being destroyed by Muslims.
Who's that, Dion?
Africa is being destroyed by Muslims.
I gotta know who's talking.
They have free. I'm saying Africa. These countries be destroyed by Muslims. I mean, you don't see the real enemy then.
Okay.
And Jewish people controlling the rap music and all that. I mean, let's think about the powers that be.
How do you know this, Joe?
It's statistical facts. You can look it up. You can Google it. That's how I know it. You can Google it. You can Google it.
Or you read that?
What do you mean I read that? That's what's going on. I don't have to be there. What do I got to be there for?
So how do you know that it's fact?
because I got African American friends from the Congo that I know real Africans, and they tell me about it, and I see it on TV. I see the statistics. It's real.
If they
That's all I
African
know.
Americans,
And let's talk about China. China's in Africa. China's in Africa. Everybody's in Africa.
Americans, they're not from the Congo.
It is what it is, bro. I got real Africans. You want me to bring them on the show? I mean, I can bring them down there if you want.
No, I don't want to talk to no African. I'm a foundational Black American.
I'm telling you facts from different sources that are real, bro. It is what it is.
Hold on, let me get to the chat room. Let me get to my chat room.
It is what it is.
Let me get to my chat room.
You can't change reality.
He said, so sorry. It's not, no, this is
you voted for Trump.
There's 3 million active slaves.
We gonna respect this platform, y'all. We're not gonna all talk over each other. I'm telling you. Come on, I can't do that. It hurts my ears. I can't do it. You know what's going on. You looking like when you gonna hit the button, man. Come on, Kev. I can read your mind like, for real, Kev?
Right up. It done turned into an all-out political and shit.
Which is dope. No, which is dope if everybody respects the microphone. And it's hard when you're doing this virtually because everybody wants to talk, right? And so, and then like I said, there may be some delays here and there, so people might be hearing something and somebody's saying something. I don't mind the back and forth, but when I say we got to chill, man. It's one mic, and ain't gonna be no. I'm gonna keep talking over you too. Ask anybody who's ever been hung up on in this show, and that's what they did. Sharita said they said he was in a shootout prior to the reason. That's why the police showed up. So now he hiding in the bushes. Okay, that's what we thought. Earl Henning says when you kill anyone, you should be killed. I totally agree. Well, it depends on the circumstances, Earl, because if it's self-defense, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes people just as habitual line steppers. They got to get that action. Erica Hunt said, what's up, Outlaws? What's up, Erica? How you doing? Long time no hear. See you out here enjoying your life. She said $10,000 don't cover diapers for a year. $1,000 don't cover diapers for a year. Earl Henny said, fuck Donald Trump. Erica Hunt said, what is this caller talking about? He's a Trump supporter. Long story short, which is cool. Said he sounded like a broke man. He said he's a businessman. He made $2,000 a day off his landscaping business. She said, what the hell is he talking about? He's talking about what he's saying to me is the Democrats aren't your enemies. The conservative people are not your enemies. Your enemies are liberals. I mean, the Republicans are not your enemies. Conservatives are not your enemies. It's the liberals. It's the Democrats that are ruining your country. It's everybody else that the Muslims are ruining America. That's what he said. Like it turns into a MAGA rant, right? And I know what it is. That's why I said initially I'm not gonna entertain that conversation. And like
dog cats.
What you say?
Said they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Right. So, no, Dion, I know I had it. Like. Dion, you can call back. Anybody can call back. I just had to clear the line because it just came too chaotic. So it wasn't meant for you or Sean or dude just wouldn't stop. I can't lose control of my own platform. Like what's that all about? Ain't gonna do that. That's never happened. Kerry Walker said nothing from the Congo is American black. That's his damn problem. These foreigners think they know more about our country than we do, but can't for the life of them figure out how to fix shit they came from. Well, that's what I was trying to say, that there's no, if they're from the Congo, they're not African Americans. Unless they live in America now and they don't stay in the Congo, but I'm not an African American. I'm a foundational black American. I'm a black American. Blacks only come from America. If you from the Congo, you Congolese. If you're from Nigeria, you're Nigerian. Once again, check the delineation movement. That's why they can't throw general statements at us, Kamar, and say, I know real Africans. You want me to go get them? No, I don't need to talk to no real African. I'm a real black American. What are we talking about? How can a fucking African tell me anything about being a foundational black American? The math ain't mathing, man. Computer ain't Putin. Dion, hit me back, man. I wasn't trying to smother you. Like I said, I had to clear the line. And let me see. He can call back too. Just respect the line, man. I'm not for having people yelling in my headphones, man. I don't deal with that shit. Erica says, she said, I see the phone. I see people calling back. He said he lying. It's still not enough to get him out of here. Sharita Shaw is laughing. I don't know if she laughing because I had to hit the button on the motherfucker. Dion said, I already know. He said, I hate to hear people talk about Trump and other Republicans. Let me read the chat room, y'all. It's fine if you're a Republican. I don't have a problem with that. She said FBA. I don't have a problem with that. You just got. I only have so much capacity. We got to respect the microphone. Everybody can't talk over everybody. You're right, Sharita. Kamar, you was muted. What was you trying to say? Okay.
I was talking back here.
Okay. I see Joe. Yeah. You called back. Like I said, anytime it gets chaotic like that, I'm hanging the fuck up. I don't have yelling contests. I don't do that.
No, I respect that. I can't. I don't know your side of the platform what's going on, so I'm just from my side.
Okay. Earl Henny, I'm reading the chat room now. Earl Henny said, fuck the Africans. I wouldn't say that, Earl.
Fuck the Africans.
I wouldn't say that, Earl.
Hey, Kevin, what do you think about victimhood mentality, buddy?
Kerry Walker Jones says they over there raping, killing, and fucking over each other. Ewok says you need Northside Rob to call in. Northside Rob, call in if that's what you want to do, man. Don't hold it back. Now, what was your question? What was my opinion on what?
What's your opinion on the victimhood mentality? Do you think that helps? Or that it destroys the community?
I think if you're a victim, it's okay to recognize it, but I don't think it's okay to lean on it and use it as a crutch.
Victimhood mentality, where people don't get up, especially the Black community, where people don't get up, they don't even try because they think they're a victim. And they bring up slavery and such and such.
I think, first of all, that assessment is inaccurate because if you know as many Black
people, it
is because I live in a neighborhood and a community full of Black people who get their ass up every day and go to work and work hard as fuck.
Yeah, but so you on 110th Street, right? You in a good neighborhood.
Goddamn 110th Street. I grew up on 17th and Capitol, and I just told you, I grew up in a neighborhood full of hardworking Black people. I'm not from the suburbs. I got people right now who live in the hood that work their ass off. If it's working.
I didn't say they're not. I didn't say that. I'm saying victimhood mentality.
Now you tripping. I said
victimhood mentality. The homie watched too much Fox 6.
I said victimhood mentality, not people that work hard.
Right,
people
but what I'm saying is that is a
American
minute
citizens.
Number. But you did say, but there's Black people who. That's a generalization.
You've been on TikTok.
That does not dominate our community. There's more hardworking Black people in this community that want better. Than there are
they
people
switch to a gangster life. The whole drill music, the whole victim mentality.
That's not true. It's not. How the fuck you gonna tell me about the community?
It's a culture thing.
That's
and
for
it's not
young
just
people.
Black people.
It's a bunch of hardworking Black people in this community.
I didn't say there's not, bro. I didn't say there's not.
It's not the majority of those people with this victim mentality shit. Ain't nobody laying around on their ass talking about I can't get up because we were slaves.
Victimhood mentality is a real thing. The thing is, you're old school. You're old head. You don't understand what's going on, what's being said nowadays with the young heads.
I work with young people. I've been working with young people for 23 years.
Talking about the people who
failure. Come on, bro. Let's just keep it real. You're working for
speaking of our community and don't even know our community.
Worst in the United States. It is what it is, man.
Kamar, go ahead, Kamar.
I said, for one, he talking about what he's saying on TikTok and shit on social media, and he's speaking on our community, and you ain't even in our community, fam.
You on TikTok? I've been on the south side. It's a damn right over the viaduct. I've been over the north side my whole life.
You on the south side? You don't know you still don't know our community. Just like I
know everything about the north side. And that's the problem why you hate me because I know the game, bro.
You don't know everything.
Kumar, you're on TikTok, Kumar, trying to get rich off donations, Kumar.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, okay, homie. I know everything about you.
You don't know everything about the north side, is what I said.
Are you not on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok, of course.
That he's on TikTok.
My point. He's down on TikTok, but he's on TikTok. The point is, you got caught up in your bullshit. Victim mentality is real, and that's keeping the Black community down the most. The victim mentality. We can't get ahead. We can't do nothing. You have merit in this society to be anything you want. Don't think there ain't no broke piece of shit white people down in West Virginia. You know, come on, man. It's the mentality, bro. Work hard, you get what you want.
I want to give you a chance to respond.
That's the mentality of some people, is what we telling you. That's not the mentality of our
man. You smoking a blunt doing nothing, bro. If you spent your time working harder, 10 times more on your business, you would have way more. It is what it is, bro. Get out, quit being lazy.
He said I ain't doing nothing. I'm lazy.
You ain't doing shit.
And you don't know our community. Don't let dude upset you.
Yeah, I know everything about you.
Okay.
Ewok,
now,
what did
you know everything about
10 times
me now.
harder, you have 10 times more.
This
know everything
system
about
is
me.
a
Now what? What that
merit-based
mean?
system, and the liberals don't want
walk
that.
you with us?
They
Hold
want
on, hold
everybody
on,
to have
hold on,
free
hold on,
money.
hold on, hold on. What does that mean? You know everything about me. What you saying?
He keeps saying he's seeing you on TikTok or something. He's watching you on TikTok.
So
Like,
what? That's cool.
right? I don't
I
know.
appreciate it. Thanks for the support. You know what I mean? But he just getting the whole point mixed up. He think we trying to argue, but we ain't.
What I'm trying to make clear to him is, regardless of what he's seen on television, that's not the majority of the black people in this community. Like, it sounds like there are some people who may have excuses or feel like victims, but I'm saying most of the people that I encountered in my professional life, they're not that way. They work very hard.
Hey, check this out. And if you watch me on TikTok, ain't no victim mentality.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Ain't no victim mentality. I ain't even coming with the aggressive mentality. You know what I'm saying? So he's completely wrong about our community. He don't even know about our community. He just speaking in general what he see on TikTok all over the place, which he don't see on my site.
She said, I get to that bag every day. My son work harder than his mom. Kerry Walker Jones said, what victim mentality is that same mentality that racists use to blame others because they ain't shit? Erica Hunt said, get on his ass. Sharita Shaw said,
it ain't even all that, man.
No, it's not even that serious. Sharita Shaw said, you talking to someone who grew up throwing piss out the windows, wiping their ass with rhubarbs. I don't have to insult dude, man. Dion said, hang up on dude, goofy ass. Earl Henning said, the three black people he knows. No, he's not black. He's white. Dion said, is he black? Absolutely not. He's white. He kept saying, I'm a South Sider. No, I know who he is. I know who he is. Once again, they can't get my goat on this. He says, say no to alcohol. Said, we taking war. Erica Hunt said, we're talking to poor white trash. Hang up. Let me keep going. She said, he Googled you, Kamar. Ewok said, fuck, dude. Erica Hunt said, fuck that cracker. Right. Okay. Let me go through. Jason DeVille, my cousin Vidili, he said, hey, let's agree to disagree so we can all get a better understanding of each other's point of view. And you can't do that when everybody talking over each other. That's why I usually did that shit, cuzzo. And I've learned that over the years that people who are listening, they don't like that. They don't like when everybody yells. Like, they like, dude, I can't hear shit. This is chaos. I'm not fucking with this shit. That's why I always did it. He said, not all white people are murderers and pedophiles. See, this is the thing. So, like, he's been on the show. He's been to my house. He's been on the show. But that don't mean he knows shit about the community. That don't mean he knows me. He said, I live on 110th Street and I teach for MPS. I ain't worked for MPS since 2006. So, and you saying that I only
know everything.
Right.
And I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I don't do nothing but sit around the house.
Yeah, well, you know. He said he see you on TikTok asking for donations, Kamar.
He ain't never seen me ask for a donation.
He said I'm working for MPS that's ruining the community. Bruh, do you know how many places in this community I have worked? In the community with the people. And as a matter of fact, guess what, Kamar? I work with poor white people now. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
A lot of them too.
Yeah, and they got the same issues we got. Homelessness, brokenness, evictionness, foreclosure-is, same drugs, same thing we got. Poverty is poverty. You can try to pin a tail on the Negro, right? And say, oh, it affects y'all the most. Yeah, okay, it's some po-ass white people on the South Side. Let me tell you that. So I don't know what, maybe he cut enough grass. He said he made $2,000 a day. That's what's up. This is
probably lying. Usually people who jack about how much money they make, they be lying.
Well, I know he got a settlement. He didn't get shot up by the police.
He probably do got a business, but you know what I mean? People who have money don't tell you how much money they make.
Well, you know.
Stop
it. Hey, man. Y'all come on in and share the show. This is great, man. I love this because white people can't piss me off, man. You can't. There's nothing you could say. I'm not even invested in your assumptions. It doesn't bother me if you say something racist to me because more often than not, I expect you to be that way anyways.
And done heard it already.
Right. Well, he's put most of this stuff on Facebook. I was just waiting on it to come out. He's put most of this stuff into people's network. So
You said
Nobody
you knew who he
cried.
was already, right?
Yeah, I knew who he was. I knew exactly who he was as soon as I heard his voice.
He called me Kumar.
Right. He was trying to get at
know
you.
me, right?
Right. He was trying to get at you. She said he's talking while he waiting on the bus. His ass on the way to McDonald's, freaking overachiever. Erica said, I graduated in 2006. Sharita Shaw said, y'all Negroes ain't working hard enough. Kerry Walker Jones said, you work with him. That's why he mad. I don't work with him. He came on the show like 12 years ago when I used to do the whole show from my basement, and he had gotten shot up by the police, but he didn't express no racist sentiments then. You know what I'm saying? Right. I didn't see that then. I thought he was cool until Trump came in. I told you Trump bring that energy out of white people, man. It's a battery in their back. Yeah. But he has the right to feel how he feels. He just ain't gonna get to say that shit on Outlaw Radio. All right, that's a waste of time. I tried to give him a chance. He won't observe the rules. He won't respect the microphone. I move on. Let me see. This is Erica Hunt saying poor white people begging for forgiveness, voting for Trump. Kerry Walker Jones said, I'm with Kamar. He ain't got shit. Kerry Walker Jones says facts. Hey man, be who you want to be, man. Vote who for. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but I'm telling everybody this. Midterms, I'm voting all Democrat. Oh, she said you work with poor white people. That's why I said that. Well, no, I mean, poor is poor, man.
You said you wanted the poor white people.
I know what she's saying. I know what she's saying. But listen, like the more I encounter people who are struggling, Kamar, the less race really matters to me on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Because people are people. And I can't just generalize a group of people because of their cultural or racial identity. Because life be lifing, as they say. And so not all poor people, not all white people are rich, and not all black people are broke. Not all white people are serial killers. Not all black people are gangsters who want to shoot up the club. And when you talk about this gangster mentality, I mean, yeah, that's in the community, but that's not everybody. That's not the majority. Everybody ain't walking around talking about, yeah, motherfucker, this is shoot. Like, we have people in the community who are living their lives trying to be positive influences on their community. It's just an element in our community, and there's a lot of reasons for that element. But if you are silly enough to think that black people are laying around saying they can't do something because of slavery, this is why I tell niggas, Kamar, about that shit, always talking about slavery, right? If you think that that's what the majority of us do, you're sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. I know so many black people who ain't laying around waiting on nobody to give them shit. But, you know, it's cool. Ain't no problem. I let anybody on. I'm not gonna let him back on because he don't respect the platform. He really just trying to fuck with us. So it's just no point in us talking.
Right? Man, he did that shit before.
Right. My son say troll.
Yeah.
My son say troll. Huh?
It's
you breaking up, Kamar. Your thing is going out.
Oh, I said it's expected.
You know, you get that. And people got the right to feel how they want to feel. I don't give a shit. It's not me. You're not talking about me, nor anybody who out in my family. I don't have anybody in my family who sits around waiting or making excuses for anything. All my guys in my inner circle, my closest friends are all hustlers, go-getters. All the kids who will come around my son or that I allow in my house to be around my family, they ain't just young men sitting on their ass not doing nothing. There are some people in the community like that though, but this just ain't the show that represents them. So when you make that statement, you trying to say black people ain't shit, fuck y'all, that kind of thing. It ain't what you say, it's how you saying it. She said answer the phone, just not for him. Most resist are poor. Most racist, I think she mean, are poor white trash that's mad at the world because they ain't shit. Erica Hunt said troll. I've even gone so far as to say I don't believe all white people are racist, but I believe most white people are prejudiced. There's a difference between racism and prejudice, right? For the most part, all of us are prejudiced. Kamar, don't you prefer your own people? I prefer my own people. Right. So all of us have. Now, I'm not a racist because I'm not going to purposely go out to take from white people just because they're white. I'm not going to say they don't deserve any rights as a civil rights as a human. I'm not going to hang them. I'm not going to burn their houses down. None of that. But when you ask me where you want to live, I'm going to say, man, I want to live around some black people. So I guess that makes me a little bit prejudiced. And I don't have a problem with a white person who want to be around white people. Go ahead. Be prejudiced all you want. It's fine with me. So, you know, I think white people get it twisted when they talk to most black people because they think we're one way when we're another. When you talk to us, Kamar, not, you know, when you talk to people who are informed, people who are aware, people who are accomplished, it's not that. It's not what you think that is. It's a whole other way. So I came from a long line of black people who refused to just say, I can't do nothing. I wasn't even allowed to do that. We wasn't even allowed to even speak like that growing up.
You ain't even supposed to say can't.
Man, I wish I would have told my parents I
That
can't do something.
That was a bad word.
Yeah, man. Because I'm black. My mother would have been like, you mother. I would have got to cursing out of a lifetime. You gonna do something, motherfucker.
I was taught I can because I'm black.
Hey, man. It's fine though, Kamar. Like once again, I don't he didn't ruffle my feathers. And you try to bait me into a political conversation, I ain't going. Right. I'm not finna argue about Trump with no Trump supporter. That is an extreme waste of time, right? Like, no. Oh, well, let me tell you who's really destroying your community because I talk to real Africans. You talking to a real African about the north side of Milwaukee? Huh?
You know all about the north side.
Somebody from the Congo can tell you all about the north side. Don't ever go here. They will jack you down. No, that is what we did. I know it ain't Africans' fault. They just called it straight, man. My bad, man. My bad. It's okay to not know everything. I don't know if people know this. Right. I know a lot of people like to think they're geniuses and social scientists, but you're not. You don't know everything. And you can't regurgitate everything you see or hear. Like you said, you watch the news that you might get that thing. Look at those people. They're just so fucking lazy. They don't want anything. That don't represent the real thread of this community.
The smart man can play dumb, but a dumb one can't play smart. So
there you go.
All the shit you want.
Let me see. Wow, my people in the chat room is going crazy, dude. Kerry Walker Jones said, I'm not prejudiced. I love all people, just not partial to the stupid ones. Like I said, it's not about love, it's about preference. I live in a neighborhood with white people. Okay? This is a black household, though.
It's a lot of black people I choose to stay away from.
Exactly. So it's okay for you to have a preference on who you're around. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't hate other groups. I just rather be with my own. I ain't gonna say fuck all the Mexicans. I'll just be like, where the black people at? Like it ain't about hate, man. And that's what they try to do as soon as we self-identify, as soon as we try to get solidarity. Oh, you're a hate group. Oh, they don't like white people. Oh, they don't. And it's never been about that. It's just about us doing us, which they've always done. So I don't understand why they always have such an issue with it.
Every race does. Every race does.
Right. Come on, man. If you love Trump, please. Please love him.
That's cool. Just love him over there.
Right. I don't want to have a conversation with you about it because you can't teach me anything. Like I'm gonna say, you know what, you're right.
And my thing is this though, like, what's the purpose? Why y'all trying to convince somebody? What's the purpose? The president already.
Trying to enlighten you. Trying to enlighten you. Once again, man, it is what it is. I said I'm not gonna have this. I'm not. I don't do it with black Trump supporters. I don't do it with white Trump supporters. I don't do it with them, period. I don't. If they say, goddamn liberals are moving, all right.
If whoever for is president, make it benefit you and shut the fuck up.
Enjoy it. Enjoy your life.
Make it benefit you and shut the fuck up. You got what you wanted. Fine. Nobody mad at you.
Ewok says was due to backstabbing ass. He said was due to backstabbing ass Latino. I think he's white. I'm pretty sure he's white. I'm pretty sure he's white. I don't think he's Latino. She said, if we were victims, there would still be slavery. We are free because our ancestors refused to be victims. He sounds like a victim. Carrie said he don't love Trump. They taking his stamps and low income too. That man is a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He said he made $2,000 a day, and he got $1 million settlement. So there's that. The question then comes back to, do I care? No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I don't know why. Why does it have to turn into like, come on, man. It's just stupid. It's dumb, Kamar. And this was really a conversation that started really more about I wanted people to really share some more stories about the brother Tweezy. I don't know enough people who know him, so people in my inner circle wouldn't have, I know Sean.
I did a song with him.
Okay.
Long time ago, I did a song with him back in the early 2000s.
I never even heard his music, man.
Yeah.
I never even heard his music. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you know what I was on during that time?
But you was in college around that time.
No, when I came home, when they had the deal, I had just came home. So I was on Baby Drew and the Country Boy Click and Cuckoo from my hood. So we was on that.
You see, he put Cuckoo on.
I know. I knew Cuckoo before he got on.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Tweezy put Cuckoo on. He gave Tony to put that disc, that meal ticket disc in Tony Draper hand.
Right. I know that. I seen the documentary for Cuckoo. I'm saying I didn't know him, but I knew Cuckoo because he was friends with Teran. And he was in a group called Stone Cold. And so Teran is a DJ Tricks. Yeah. And so that's my guy named Uncle. That the first time I ever recorded was with Teran and their crib. So I didn't know what an EPS was. I didn't know what none of that shit was. And Cuckoo came to one of the sessions, and then he ended up living right before Projects hit. He lived 2 houses down from me, right on 17th Street. Well, my mom's. So me and him, and he used to be on Atkinson in the bar, of course. So that's my man.
Tweezy is a huge part of the history of Milwaukee hip hop. Or the history of Milwaukee hip hop. You know what I mean? Like really, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the quiet ones. Like even before Cuckoo was signed to a label, one of the major black labels where black people was getting signed to, Tweezy was the first.
Said in his dreams, the meth got that settlement.
Crazy. Tweezy was the first one to get signed to a label like that.
Milwaukee was exploding at that time too, because it was really a rap scene being established. It's too bad that it died off. Because what's their man name? Mr. Do It to Death. All them dudes was making records, and they had like the fat funky fresh graphics. They had the funky fresh graphics and shit, and then you seen the billboards that said Infinite Suave, and man, it was going down. Little events, you don't know who you gonna see. I'm telling you, in our neighborhood, Country Boy Click was what we played. Powder, summer of '99. Powder, everywhere, every car that pull up is like, and then you start thinking, then you say, well, Cuckoo meal ticket, like you said. Then it was like, oh, that's dude, yeah, that's Teran guy. So we was on that too. And in the process, I missed not only him, but it was somebody else who was a co-rapper back then, a local rapper. But they had a little motion. It was Young Twan. Who else was in their clique? Do It to Death, Young Twan.
Ice Moan was popping back then, and all the rappers in Milwaukee knew each other. They rolled together like that. They was clickers like that. It was dope.
He was just a major part of the scene culturally in the city. I'm talking about nightlife and major part of the city, man. And I mean,
with Tweezy, if you knew him, you knew that's how life was supposed to. I ain't saying how it was supposed to end, but for him to be a promoter like that, because he was actually bringing rappers into the city to these clubs. You know what I'm saying? I forgot who was on that lineup, but he had a lineup that night at Element.
Erica, hey Kamar, she said Erica Hunt said, Milwaukee music still got motion, Kevin, and she called me my whole name, right? Like so. But here's the deal, and no, these youngsters is doing the thing. They doing their thing. I don't want to take away from them. They doing their thing. Like these dudes is really now coming. And Milwaukee nationally, I'm starting to see respect nationally from other rappers saying, no, they got that shit's dope. I'm not saying that it don't got motion. Now I'm saying at that point where we was coming from, there was no motion. Like in the early, like late 80s, early 90s, it wasn't really no Milwaukee. You know, he played smooth, I-94 design, all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't like a scene. When I, like you said, I went to school. When I came back, it was like doom. Like these dudes was throwing shows and had albums out and was like, I'm like, whoa, they had Be Legit on Country Boy Click. I'm like, dude, for real. So it was more solid, I guess. Then it had become more of a thing. So yeah, they got motion now, but I still think the music they making now is a little bit disposable. Like, and shout out once again. I don't want none of these young rappers coming after me and shit. I'm gonna beat your old ass. I'm just saying I'm an old head, right? And so that music, I know they're not talking to me.
How about this part? When I remember, I just said he was part of Milwaukee hip hop. Here's something. If it wasn't for Tweezy, you know my projects.
Hey, that's saying a lot. But he said,
I mean, I don't know if he would have made it all. I don't know if he would have made that song or if he already had it and then brought it out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if it would have been as huge as it was.
From what I hear, Cuckoo Cal's success was a team effort in the first place. Like it was
definitely a team effort.
A lot of brothers local dudes who got behind him and whatever networks and connections they had, they said, nah, this dude right here, like so. But Cuckoo's acknowledged that. His trip, what he said about him on Facebook was like, I talk to him every day. Like he said what you just said. I don't know where I would be had it not been for this dude and whatever. So, hey man, big loss for the city, man. All these people who are taken from us are somebody in some way. They're important to somebody in some way. Like they may have achieved something. They might have been the first person in their family to do something. You don't like it varies. So it's sad. That's why it's so sad when anybody loses their life to something senseless. And I guarantee you, when it comes down to it, the bad part about this, Kamara, is it probably ain't over shit. It probably ain't. It's probably there's probably no reason he should have been even hit at all. Right? Because as many people as I know who do know the brother, one thing I've never heard nobody say nothing bad about it. You know how word move in the city, man, dude. I've never heard I know, dude. I've never heard nobody say nothing bad about the brother. So, hey,
all
man,
I ever heard was, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I remember at one point he got an award, Hustler of the Year. He even really ran for mayor.
Yeah, I said right.
He really ran for mayor,
which was ridiculous. Did he have an album out he was promoting at that time? Like this is genius marketing, right? Like it's like
genius marketing, man. Genius marketing. We said that back then too. Like, that was genius.
She said, "This is Ewok." He said, "I ain't no hater."
He had him on the news, interviewed him and everything, man.
Ernest Walker said, "I ain't no hater, but I hope somebody beat dude ass who called in tonight." I don't. I wish him well.
I don't.
I wish him well. Right. I mean, I don't listen. I hope somebody beat his ass.
He tried to spin this off and get us going. It's all right, man.
Yeah, man. I ain't no, man. Go ahead, man.
I ain't holding that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't agree with what he said, but just because I don't agree with you don't mean I want your house to burn down. So, you know.
Right.
You don't agree with me, die, motherfucker. No, it's not like that, man. I don't know. It's a waste of time. Come on, I don't know how much time I got left. I ain't wasting none of it.
You know, his conversation, and I'm going to tell you what's crazy, right, is his conversation was cool as shit until he started talking about Trump.
Yeah, it went off the rails, and I seen it coming. I knew
right away. He felt like he was trying to attack him.
But that's what he wanted to say.
And we telling him about our community, what our community ain't.
It was bait and switch. That's what he wanted to say anyway. Yeah. It's just like I'm softening him up, and then I'm gonna hit him with the voo. Like, come on, man. You think I've never seen that trick before? And I knew from the post he's put up in Facebook. See, I could have just not even took his call or hung up on him early because I know exactly who he is. I know his post, all that kind of stuff. Lucky Leprechaun, all that. I've seen it. But I'm gonna give everybody a chance to act a fool one time. Like Sean said, if I go to this club tonight and I clown, you're not getting back in this club the next week. No, man, dude can't come in. You know what I'm saying? So if we can't talk like men and communicate sensibly, because the one thing you can't do is take a bunch of shit you think you know and make me accept it. And I'm a person who's actually in the community. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. So why are we still talking? You know what I'm saying? Go contribute to a right-wing radio show. Like there's a lot of right-wing podcasts, a lot of conservative podcasts, MAGA favoring radio shows and go do that. Go hang out with them. Why you over here fucking with us? Why you fucking with us? You know what I'm saying? Why you ever fucking with us? I'm gonna fuck their whole party up. Right. I'm bored. Let me fuck with these niggas, man. Because he'd like to say, he'd like to be able to tell his friends, I get these niggers riled up. Well, I have them so pissed off, I call in their goddamn shows. I tell their asses the truth. That's why he tried. Oh, Kamar, I see you on TikTok and you're asking for donations and da 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 da. He thought you was really finna. I'm like, all right, man. Yeah, it's all good, man. Peace to you, man. As the minister would say, God bless you. She said, this is Erica Hunt. She said, long live Day Day. My nephew was protector. Who's Day Day? She's talking about her nephew who she lost a couple months ago. Sharita said, Kamar, he had billboards and everything. Man, them billboards was everywhere.
He sure did have billboards out here.
I remember the one right there on Fond du Lac in Capitol, and then Baby Drew them had the one on East Capitol. Was it Goldfangers and Wide Body Rides? I know they had one, and I'm like, that's what dudes doing now. I come home to this, Kamar. Like, cats got billboards now. My homie's like, yeah, man, these dudes, man. I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, oh boy, it just makes you sad thinking about it, man. Let me see. This is Ernest Walker. He said, nah, he was setting y'all up, or he thought he was. Come on, man. Ewok. Right. First of all, keep in mind, I know who he is. He's in the People's News Network. I've seen his posts. I know his opinion on us. He wasn't setting up shit. I was wondering when it was going to come. As soon as he said liberal, I already knew. That's why I said one thing I'm not going to do is talk about partisan politics with you. That's why I said it, because I already knew. I mean, come on, man. I'm not as dumb as I look, right? She said, do they know what happened to him? You talking about the brother? No, all the details ain't out. We know he got. You talking about? She talking about young Twan? All the details ain't out. We know he got shot, but all the details ain't out on what happened. I know Sean gave his kind of theory on, you know, how it went down, but we won't know until, because they got one person in custody. So this is going to be very interesting, and then again, it might not be interesting because I believe it's going to be so simple that it's like, really? That's why y'all shot into a crowd of people and took that man's life and the other brother's life? This is a double homie, man. This shit is crazy, man. And I heard that they're charging, anybody got any information on this? They're charging the parents with the death of the 4-year-old. I don't know what the ins and outs of that are because I didn't do my research like I should have on it. So I don't know, man. But they said they're charging the parents for it. So I don't know where they arguing. I got to look into that more. Erica Hunt said that's good news. Well, I mean, you know, and then now somebody tell me this. What is up with the kidnapping? The 7-year-old boy who was taken by gunpoint, thrown in a van, snatched off his bike, right? It's another thing that confuses me. If we were such gangsters and we had this gangster mentality and we was bang, bang, shoot them up, would that be able to happen in our community? Wouldn't we all ran outside with our guns and stopped that? Oh, gangsters don't do that. Okay. But I don't know. And then I seen somebody say this looked like, this is people in comments. Don't ever read comments because it'll fuck you all up. People saying there was a drug debt owed because all of a sudden the boy just reappeared. And then they got the young man, the brother in custody. I'm gonna call him no brother. The man in custody who was responsible for it. So I don't have enough details. So if y'all got something on that, please put it in the chat room or call in and chop it up with your boy. Let me know what's good. But that's crazy. And this is all in the same weekend, Kamar. All in the same weekend. So I missed a call. I wasn't paying attention. 292. If you out there, hit me back. I didn't see your call. I'm sorry about that. 414-292. But yeah, man, very sad weekend. People saying the city is done. How we gonna move on from this? You just do. You just do, right? Like it's
you ain't no choice. We gotta. You know,
You hope that something
think
positive comes out of this.
we everybody should be looking at everything that happens and trying to figure out something out about it, figure out a lesson or something, man. Ain't none of it easy. You know what I mean? Because you talk about kids and then they show videos of how you know what I mean, of what was going on out there on the block from the Ring cameras. It's saddening, man. You know, and like it's you see, I seen some stuff on social media where they was asking about or saying that they was thinking that it was some more motives. It was something else going on. There's so many questions. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost scared to even speak on it because
Got to be real careful.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got to be real careful. You know, it's sensitive right now, Kamar.
But all of it's sad, man, and it's like one thing after another.
Yeah, man, and
that
especially this
toxic.
last weekend.
It's toxic to us all.
You didn't get you didn't get no peace last weekend. It was just a double boom, 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 boom. Like what? Like man, I'm like I'll be glad when Monday comes. So I can go back to work. Caller, you on? Who this?
What's up, Kev? It's your girl Erica Hunt.
What up, Erica? What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm well.
Low key, when you was talking about the white guy supporting Donald Trump and shit, I just wanted to say one of my top reasons why, because you know I was real heavy on the Kamala Harris train, okay, and she may have been the lesser of the two evils, but my biggest and top reason why was for reasons like this. This man was probably real quiet during the George Floyd's rallies when we started taking back our streets. And now this is just my observation, but he's only okay with calling a black show like yours because Donald Trump is in office. And that was my top reasoning why people shouldn't have voted for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump was going to make a lot of these racists very bold and proud to be racist. And I think y'all remember when I told y'all that was my reasoning for not voting for Donald Trump.
I agree with you, but he was on the show. He's been in
he was crying, asking, begging for our help and shit while he was talking about who begging for something. He was begging.
My point is, he wasn't sitting at your dining room table talking that shit.
No, he wasn't even expressing that sentiment when he was here that time. No, absolutely not. No.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's because he was scared or nothing. I'm just saying he wasn't on that. Because if he was, I'd have never spoke to him again. It would have been like, no, you don't need me talking to him. So, why would I deal with somebody like that? Come on, man. No.
Trump allowed a lot of them to be openly proud to be racist. Before they was hiding it. Now they're very open and proud about it.
I will say Trump does put a battery in the back of white people, I think. And that was the problem with his last presidency that I said. That's why I got so pissed that I went and voted for old Sleepy Joe. I'm not a Democrat. Just like at this point, I'm so disgusted with the way this country is going. When midterms come, I'm voting all Democratic. I'm voting all Democratic. I'm just tired of it. So, but once again, everybody deserves the right to feel how they want to feel. I just don't believe in the need to disrespect anybody else because of it. So, you know, and once again, I'm not going to allow nobody to call my show and be out of control and try and dominate the microphone. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to, all I got to do is hang up. Why would I deal with that? That's just stupid. It's just stupid.
But then I wanted to share my little story I got with Tweezy. You know, I always seen Tweezy as an OG in the hood because he was my parents' age and shit. But there was a time where I was supposed to be going to an event he was promoting, and the girls that I was supposed to be riding with, they stood me up. And here I am standing in this line, like, do I pay this fee to come in? Do I not pay this fee to come in? Because I'm in this club by myself. Tweezy overheard the conversation, pulled me in for free, took me to the VIP section, and he called me by name. And he threw me off because I didn't think he knew me, but he told me, he said, no, I seen your work. I know who you are. You keep fighting the good fight. So That is my story I have with Tweezy. Otherwise, I go to a lot of his events, and they've always been pretty safe and well done. I could say that. So rest in peace, Tweezy. He is definitely gonna change the narrative here in Milwaukee. I hope the artists that looked up to him continue to change the narrative. Because yeah, they looking at Milwaukee. They have been looking at Milwaukee for a long, long time. So shit. R.I.P. to Tweezy, man. A lot of people hurt out here in these streets.
I've heard nothing but people speaking positive on him. I've seen a lot of brothers be downright emotional online about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what should be. If you out here moving with integrity and your intention is to help others and uplift other people and share what you've learned and just really be a part of the community, that's how it should be if something happens to you. People should speak highly of you. People should come out and say, "Nah, man, that was a good dude." You know what I mean? That's how it should be. We had this situation a year or so ago, maybe, Kamar, when the brother T-Rock lost his life. T-Rock was that kind of dude, like Twan, and not on the same, like he wasn't a club promoter, but T-Rock was a good dude, man. Like a dude who, if you go to him and you cool with him and you needed anything, he gonna hit you off. You know what I'm saying? He might make a joke, you might get ribbed on a little bit, but he was a solid dude, man. So I was so pissed off when I was so mad because I'm like, if I could think of anybody who didn't deserve to go out like that, it would be him. Because I know everywhere, once again, that's a brother who I've never heard anybody say anything bad about. You know what I'm saying? And everybody over there, I used to be over there, it was all love for that brother. Him and T-Buck. But T-Rock, I think I probably had more conversations with T-Rock. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's the same kind of thing where a really good person is a victim of some senseless violence in the neighborhood, right? And that's why they tell a lot of us, when you do hit this OG status, when you do have things trending in the right direction, get your ass out the hood. Can't stay on the block. No, you love it, but you can't hug it. Because it's a new generation of wolves coming up and they don't have the same respect or reverence for you that some others might. Because I'm sure if it was a bunch of brothers of our age and there was drama, they'd say, "Hold on, man. Is that Tweezy? Man, no, don't shoot that motherfucker, dog. That's Tweezy out there." Or they might even put up and be like, "Hey, man, Tweezy, come here, man. Man, you know, it would have been different." But it's somebody who obviously didn't revere him, or, maybe they didn't know that was him. They need to go to hell. They need to go with the cop shooter. I'm sorry. Them your people, I'm sorry. This is, let me see. This is the chat room. Orlando Owens. Kerry Walker Jones said he was very quiet. Trump's give these clowns their official red shoes. Earl Henny said he got a new lawnmower. I said that. Orlando Owens said is this Orlando on the line?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? We just had one of your cousins on here doing the straight fool.
Oh, I didn't hear what happened.
But, yeah, one of your MAGA brethren was on here acting a fool, man.
Well, some people, do what they do, and some people don't do what they do. So you got fools and idiots all over on both sides of this aisle. So,
I mean, you may have agreed with him in some of the stuff, because I've heard you talk about black people having this victimized mentality that makes them not want to get up and try and all that kind of thing. My point to him was that may be true for some people, but that doesn't represent the majority of our community.
Well, I don't know if that's just relegated to black people. I think you have a do nothing spirit on just people, period. So it doesn't have to be just, black people, but, again, everything is always done on percentages, right? So I think that's just across the board. You got a population of people who are do nothing, low motivational, and they kind of go along in life. So,
well, he said that was the majority of that's how the majority of our community is. That's why we've gotten nowhere. So I don't know if you agree with that.
I wouldn't say that. I think that there's a level of people, like in all things, you have a segment of people who are going to be the rebel rousers and the problem makers. You have another segment, which is probably the bigger segment, which is like, I just kind of go along to get along. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have this other group, smaller group as well, that are like the, excellent, who achieve and push. And that's in every population. You got to just look at when you graduate from high school. Most people were on the floor at the graduation. You had a few on the stage. Then you had a few who didn't graduate, who didn't show up. So most folk are
just kind of in the middle on the floor, which is the vast majority of people saying, "Hey, man, I'm just doing me. Don't put me out in front."
It sounds like you agree with him, Orlando. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you
No,
believe that a majority of the black community in Milwaukee is operating with a victim mentality that prevents them from progressing because their excuses that I can't do anything because the white man won't let me and I've been a slave. It sounds like you agree with him.
So I would disagree with that statement and how you think that I may agree with it. So I disagree on both levels. What I will say is this: you have a smaller percent of the population. So when you start doing the percentage thing, you're a numbers guy, whatever, right? But no, I would say the vast majority of black people are just like any other group of people. You have a bunch of people kind of just on the floor, meaning, hey man, I'm just staying out of the way. I'm not the mover or the shaker. I'm a C student. I'm good with that. You have very
so
few
you
people
believe
who
the
are,
majority of the black community is just C students, underachievers.
I believe that most people.
Well, we talking about black people, Orlando. Don't move the goalposts. We talking about black people.
Well, again, I think again, which ain't nothing wrong with being a C student. I think most people are not the problem. They're not the issue. Most people go to work every day. They kind of do their thing, and they're not the problem that you're looking for. The fewer people are the bad C's that get all the attention. But even the people who just stay out of the way,
so instead of tap dancing, let's do it like this. Let's keep it real simple. Do you, yes or no, believe that the majority of black Milwaukee on the north side have a victimized mentality that prevents them from progressing or moving ahead because they have too many excuses? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, that's all. See how simple that was? You ain't got to go into, see, people gonna be people until they ain't people no more, and then they're gonna be people again. Mariah Johnson, what it do, cuz? Hold on, let me shout out my cousin. Mariah, you slipped in here on me. I didn't see you, cuzzo. Where'd she come in? Oh, she right here. She said, hey, family, what it do, cuz? How you doing? It's always love. She said, it's so many questions that don't want to ask because you don't want to know, and then you don't. In regards to the whole Tweezy situation, yeah. You got to be careful at this point because it's still early. It's a fresh wound. And we don't want to get on here and say something that somebody out there who's really hurting is going to hear. And then all of a sudden, it's drama like that. It's just, once again, I wanted it to be a situation where people could express a positive, his name in a positive light. Like, because once again, I didn't know him. I didn't have a personal relationship with him. But from what I hear, he was a good dude. That's why I referenced somebody who I did know, like a T-Rock, who was a good dude that left too early behind some senseless violence. So I get it. I can relate to it, is what I guess that was my point for bringing that in. And to say rest in peace to T-Rock, man. We miss you, bro. Orlando Owen said family. She said, no, okay, I'm just reading through the chat, y'all. Hold on, give me a second. Let's see. He said, Orlando, you asked me, was I voting for the Democrats in the primary? In the midterm, I'm sorry.
I did. I heard you voting straight for Democrat, although you say you're not a Democrat. I'm like,
I'm not a Democrat. And the beauty in that is I'm not a Republican, but if the Democrats was in office and they was fucking up, I would vote Republican. See how that works?
Well,
I reserve the right to change my mind.
I guess it depends on what you call effing up, right? So I guess, that's in the get done, aren't getting done. I'm just the opposite. When I see Democrats in office, I see mayhem. I see low expectations. I see trouble.
Well, once again, I wouldn't have a conversation about partisan politics with the white boy. I'm not going to have it with you either. I don't argue with MAGA supporters. I don't argue with Trump supporters. Go ahead and have your candy, have fun, get you a hat, get you a T-shirt, do what it is that you do. I'm not going. It's a circular conversation. I have no interest in having it. What I see and what I take in terms of information and my observations are mine, because there's really no winner, because you're not going to turn me and I'm not going to turn you, right? So it's like it's kind of useless to argue about. That's why I don't want to go. You said depend on. You was trying to lead me in. Depends on what you think effing up is. Now, I do got Ernest in the chat room. I mean, on the phone. Northside Joe, what it do, man?
Rob, Northside Rob.
Northside Rob, what it do, man?
I wanna ask Orlando, dude, these crybaby ass white people who are all over YouTube crying already and shit ain't even hit hard yet. Are they displaying victim mentality? Or What do you feel about that? You know, that the first sign of adversity, they crying like a motherfucker with these farm subsidies not coming in and all of this shit. They look for the medical and they crying like the food stamps ain't coming in. They crying like a motherfucker. So, you know what I'm saying? The shoe is on the other foot. And that other shoe is finna slip on that other foot. It's only gonna get worse for them. They crying already. So all of that shit, you and that other son bitch that was on the line talking about a victim mentality and shit is presenting itself right before our very eyes every day. Turn on YouTube and watch them cry.
So
how come they can't? Give me one more second. Why they ain't pulling themselves up from their bootstraps and shit? You know what I'm saying? Everybody got all this victim mentality shit for black people. Answer me that.
So for me, I righteously don't give a fuck about them. No.
No. You give a fuck when you be giving opinions about black people.
No, I mean, if they crying because the government has cut back on their benefits, I really don't give no F about it, my friend, really. Because again, when we become so dependent on government for anybody, because if we run the numbers and Kev's the numbers guy, we know by percentage there's way more whites on assistance, right? So again, if your sole source of income and how you make it was dependent on how much the WIC check was or the W-2 check was or the food stamp supplement, yeah, you might need to think about if you're able to get out and get this money, you might want to get up and try to start doing that.
Hey,
so,
Orlando, quick sidebar though. Yeah. If a person is an elderly citizen who loses their Medicaid and they're not able to work, obviously they're disabled and they're elderly, and they're saying, hey, I need my, like you said, don't be worried about your check. But if they're saying, I need this, which is the same kind of program, so they're lazy too, they're victims too, like they have a victim mentality too. If they've put in their time, they put in their time working in this country, paid their taxes. Now they're old, they need medical care, and so you're gonna snatch that and you say, oh well, fuck them. That's what and I'm paraphrasing.
So if you're able-bodied, you have to get out and do something.
I'm talking about the people that are not able-bodied though, that are going to lose their health care, their coverage, and little kids who lose their parents lose their SNAP benefits, and the kids can't eat. So they able-bodied kids supposed to get out and get a 9-to-5. I'm just saying there's some victimization here.
So if you're elderly and you cannot do, that's what government is for, to help support whatever else
He's taking it from them though. He's stripping them.
No, well, I think we can have a debate on if the federal government stepping back so that the state governments can do this. I think this is
but the states pay taxes to the federal government, so that ain't right for them to step back either. That's their money too. You pay federal taxes too. What?
So the Fed put the onus to send the money back to the state.
Are they sending it back?
That's what the move is. If you don't have to pay it to the Fed, that means you have it in your state budget. So if you're not sending, the state portion of what they raise for Social Security and the money or Medicaid to send the state, then the state has the money. So the question now is, what does the state governors do?
So can you show me proof that their policy is to send the money that they're cutting from Medicare back to the states? Show me that proof.
I can't tell you. The idea
if you can't prove it, don't say it.
So here it is. The idea is to shrink the federal side, the government side, the size of the federal government, leaving the money back in the states, to never send the money to the feds in the first place. Keep the money in the states. Keep the money in the states.
That's not part of his policy. That's not what the policy says. It said they're cutting the federal money from the states. They're not saying, okay, and the federal money that we do, I didn't even hear them say, you don't even got to pay us at all. Y'all just be in charge of it. Because nobody would have had a problem with that.
So when you cut the federal portion of what you send to the Fed, that money stays in the state's cash.
Once again, there's no policy that says we have to stop paying the federal government taxes. Ain't nobody paying state taxes now. You still got to pay federal taxes. They're not going to send that money back to us.
The federal taxes that you are paying should reduce.
That's not even what the big beautiful bill says for poor people.
Well, for
Orlando, you don't see with your own eyes, man, what they doing. They don't care. They don't care if people die. It's all bullshit. You can crunch the numbers all you want to, man. Crunch them, and hit them with a fucking can. It's all bullshit, and you know it. This shit is to get rich motherfuckers some more money. Just like this shit that happened in Texas and what's gonna happen. It's hurricane season right now, man. These motherfuckers ain't got no feeling in you know where it's supposed to be. Everything that the Republican Party is doing right now is chaotic and mass destruction to this country, man. And you sitting here trying to you know what I'm saying? Sit here and co-sign for these motherfuckers.
Well, my will be
this shit is just some heartless ass shit. And you got to be one of the stupidest motherfuckers. Let me get off of here, man. Because you sitting here trying to get people to believe this the whole ass shit that they pulling right in front of your eyes. You just set off.
So again, you know, you can name call. It's cool. You know, if that's the best you're gonna do is name call. But let's get to it. So again, if the message is not getting out that the size of if you shrink the size of the federal government and the money stays in the states, then the Republicans need to do a better job of messaging that. That's in the
That's not. Show me that. Show me where that's policy.
Again,
that's not part of the policy. So it ain't nothing to share. There's never been a situation where they said we would not have to pay federal taxes anymore. It will stay in the states. That hasn't been said. That's not on any. That's not in any of his legislation.
That's not a problem. If you want that to be filled out, that's not a problem. Because clearly, if I don't take more money for this program to the feds, where does the money go then?
That's what we keep saying. What are you doing with the money that you cutting Listen, I said I was going to do partisan politics, Orlando. You lucky I like you, man. You lucky I like you.
Saying,
hold on. Let me get my chat room because you giving me a headache. Earl Henning said every black man that's with Donald Trump is a pedophile too. Damn. Okay. Ruben Anderson, what it do, my brother, man? How you doing, Ruben? Ruben on the round, Ruben on the road, man. Ruben stay doing good, man. Shout out to Ruben, man. Dion said, "I'm gone, fam. Y'all be smooth." All right, Dion, man. I'm sorry we didn't get you in more, man. I had to clear the line, man. We had a little ruckus in the club tonight. A little niggas fighting in the back of the club. We had to put everybody out. Dion said, "Fuck Trump and anyone who supports him." Kerry Walker Jones said they are definitely crying like the victims they are. Mariah Johnson Cuzzo said he probably doesn't pay taxes, cuz he pay them. You pay federal taxes, your ass go to jail. That's the one person you don't want to play with. Kerry Walker said he cutting all the federal funding. Does that mean there will be no more federal taxes? Well, that's what Orlando was kind of insinuating. But what I'm asking him, and I'm only asking him for that, is proof. Show me where that's written down. That's not a law. That's not part of their bill. There's no proposal from Republicans at all to say, okay, all the money that we've cut from federal services, now the states don't send us no taxes. Y'all just keep y'all money and y'all govern yourselves. Because if that's the case, then what the fuck do we need the federal government for?
Exactly. So why do you need it? You need a very small federal government. As the Constitution was spelled out, the federal government. Well,
you say a small government, but then it's what, $250 trillion going back into the military? Hell, Trump's golf trips cost $45 million. So yeah, you want to cut Medicaid for some poor old people so he can go play golf and have dumbass military parades. Come on, man.
So the federal government was always supposed to be the smaller part of the government structure, and only had limited powers. And one of those was the national, security. If everything else really is supposed to be in the states, man.
Well, really, and there should be no taxation without representation. So if we pay in federal taxes, then the government owes us to provide certain services like Medicaid, like all kinds of FEMA and all kinds of government agencies that are supposed to exist for the greater good of the country. But if your policy is we're going to cut all these things and then y'all won't have to pay federal taxes anymore, I'm totally with that shit.
Okay, well then let's get that message out, because clearly
you got to show me where the message is. It's not in any bills. You keep saying the message. Where's it? Who said it? Where's that written down at? Where's that written down at?
That's not a problem, Kev. That's not a problem at all, Kev. To explain to the people that if you cut the money you send to the Fed,
that's what you think makes sense, but it's not part of your party's policy. Show me the policy. Don't tell me what makes sense. Show me the party. Show me where it's written down.
Again, Kev, if we just kind of think this thing through, do you believe the federal government is going to keep the money although the program is not in effect no more? Is that what you're thinking?
Absolutely, I do, because they haven't said otherwise. They have to say otherwise. What about transparency? You can't make that a secret and then pull it out like we was just playing. Y'all keep y'all money. That's not the way government works, Orlando.
So if that's the case, then that is your argument. You don't believe if they cut the program, the monies are not going to stay in the state. That's your argument.
Me where that's their intention. Show me where they say that's their intention. That's all I'm asking you for.
That's not a problem. I can definitely get some messages out there.
You should have it on hand if that's how you're gonna come, because you just told me we need to get it out there.
We shouldn't assume that people know when you say you're cutting the program, that means the money stays with the citizen. So we should make that very clear. So I'll take that criticism. I'll say, okay.
Ruben said everybody has an opinion. This dude's is way out there. Earl Henning said is going to Donald Trump's pocket is where it's going. Westside Zelenine, what it do, man? He said oh, it's still riding with racists cause killing all black shit. Oh, okay. He's talking about, he called you not Orlando. Ernest says Shoeshine Boy is pathetic. I said pathetic, Kamar. Mariah said this man can't answer simple questions to save his life. He pathetic. No, she didn't say that. Just no. And this is a disagreement. So Orlando, but what you're saying makes no sense because you talking about assuming. I'm talking about policy. I'm talking about things that are written in stone. So if you're going to tell me, so I have not seen, even in his big beautiful bill, it don't say nothing about taking away federal taxes. Not one part of it says that.
So when you see this and say more money being in the states, then you will say I was wrong.
Now you're changing it. You're saying more money will be in the states. Show me where it says because we cut Medicare, we're going to leave more money in the state. Not even take it all. We're going to leave more money in the state so that they can take care of their own citizens. Show me that. Show me where's that? Where did you see that at? Did nobody else see it? Where did you see this? Did you climb up a mountain and find the Holy Grail? What did you talk to the burning bush? Because not even your party had said that this was what they was going to do.
So clearly we need the message better so people can understand, like, what does that mean? If you cut the federal program and you put it, the money never goes to the feds.
You keep talking about people should know what it means. You know what people know? They know what you put in policy. They know what you put in writing. That's what they know.
Fair enough, Ed, like you said. I didn't say it, but we need to be clear on if you do reduce the size or whatever you cut in the program, where does the money go? Who keeps the money?
We know who's keeping it. The rich are keeping it. They're gonna get money back. You know what?
That's fair.
Thank you for calling, Orlando. Just chill with us for a second. Let me finish my chat room, man. Mariah said, and y'all think we just do this on the show? When me and Orlando talk on the phone off the show, this is how the conversation goes. Dion said he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Zelly said that's that MAGA math. Don't add up ever. Well, that would be such a unique economic policy that they wouldn't be able to stop talking about it. That would be the main selling point of it. Like, look, we're talking about reducing your federal taxes to almost nothing. Because then how you going to give $200 trillion more to the military if you're going to stop taking the money you're going to start taking less money? That's not going to happen. We're going to tax you the same. We're going to cut your services and we're going to do what we think should be done with the money. He still ain't said what he gonna do with any of the money. Remember Doge? They was going in and they was shutting everything down. And yeah, we already done found $200 million in savings. What the fuck you do with it? Did you send it to Israel?
They had a barbecue.
He said they had a barbecue. Do white people barbecue? What do they eat at their barbecues?
They use gas grills.
Oh, okay. One time I said, do white people have family reunions? I've never seen a white family reunion. Like a white t-shirt. I was at the Witkowski family reunion. I'm like, do they have family reunions? I don't know. I'm being facetious, y'all. This is Earl Henning. He said, "Oh, must go to the White Talk Show." Now he can come over here, man. See, y'all notice me and Orlando can disagree. But Orlando's going to respect the platform. He ain't yelling. He ain't screaming over nobody. Somebody disagree with him. He ain't, because Orlando knows if he does that, I'm going to hang up. So it's possible to have discussions and disagree without it going to the mattresses, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but Orlando, I don't know, man. We ain't got that much time. Matter of fact, we're overtime. So you just got to come back Wednesday if you want to meander some more and dance around questions. But this is what I would ask for you. Please produce that paperwork. Please.
So again, I have no problem getting the tax savings, because that's what it means, tax savings. So what people will be saving from the federal government, that's not a problem to get, to say, here are the tax savings. Based on the cuts, here's the tax savings.
Okay. I'll take that. So listen, I'm good. I just what I don't want you to do is put something out there that ain't accurate. And I'm saying that because, yeah, you said it might say tax savings and this and that and the third, and you're going to get these savings. From what I looked at, it was if you make less than a certain amount of money, you get a little boost. If you make more than a certain amount of money, you get a bigger boost. But at no point did it say states are going to have more money to operate with because we have reduced the federal taxes, because we cut these agencies out.
But that's, you know, again, I shouldn't make the assumption that people can't, you know, kind of get, you know, all of what's not said.
You shouldn't make no assumptions until it's on paper.
When I'm not asking you to put more money on the basketball team's jersey and say, Kev, we're going to reduce the amount, or we cutting jerseys this year. That naturally say, well, I got the money for the jerseys, Orlando. Why are you cutting jerseys? So that means you already have the money. So again, I'm just giving you the example.
You just gave me an AAU team versus the national economy. Come on, man. We ain't talking about jerseys, Orlando. We talking about Medicaid and SNAP benefits. We're talking about emergency relief agencies. We're talking about how many federal jobs is he cutting? 800, 900?
And those federal departments, more than likely, like most governments, is a mirror reflective of state government and county government. Each level always duplicates one or the other. The EPA and the DNR, they do the same thing. So why do you have to have
no, the DNR and the EPA don't do the same thing, Orlando. Environmental protection and natural resources are two different things, because DNR is going to regulate hunting and animals, where EPA is going to regulate environmental issues. That's two totally different things.
We're duplicating it because the DNR can do the same thing.
Well, no, because you're trained in going into the forest and looking at animal populations and prevent some from being extinct and from preventing motherfucking infections and diseases and people from violating in the woods, as opposed to somebody coming down on a company that's letting too many emissions into the atmosphere. There's a difference. One is the ground, one is the air. There's different training for both sides. They're not interchangeable.
When you cut the funding for the national, you know, DNR, I mean the EPA, hire people at the DNR level to do the same thing that the EPA does locally. Do it locally in your state.
It's two different skill sets. It's two different learning trees. It's not the same thing. That's like saying hire a geologist to do what a biologist does. It's two different things.
All the people that's being laid off from the EPA, hire them at the DNR.
For what? So you can go over budget with the DNR now?
Because you're going to have the money that you didn't send to the EPA. The money stays in the state.
You're going to have to compensate them on the back end. It's the same money. What are you talking about? They ain't going to work for free.
Let the states control. Send the money that's going to pay for the EPA. Let the DNR keep that money and hire who they need to hire to do the same two jobs, the EPA or DNR.
You can't do both jobs. You can't do both of those jobs. It's, once again, there's a difference between an astronomer and a biologist, Orlando. They don't do the same thing. You can't say you're going to be both. That's not how this works.
If they have the money, then you hire the expertise you need, because you're not sending the money to the Fed. Then hire the expertise you need on the state level, Kev. It's not. Come on, Kev.
Don't do that. Don't be like, come on, Kev. It's just simple. No, don't do that, because you know that's some bullshit. Come on, man.
Hire what you need to hire.
Oh man. Earl Henny said, "Oh, get a gas grill too." I think I might give me a gas grill. Come on, I heard you can use wood in them.
I know plenty of folks got gas grills. I don't think.
Kerry Walker Jones said potato salad with raisins. Roger Zeledon said they want to crash it, meaning the USA, then come fix it, the shit they broke, and get credit. He said, how do you save when you gave quadruple the money amount away? It don't balance out. And this is Earl Henning said that's not going to happen. Look here, man. We way over time. Great conversation. It's one of the things, be careful what you wish for, because I'm thinking, I hope shit get to cracking tonight. And it did, right? Like, and so share the show, man. Share the show.
I love your stuff, man. Kamar, it was great.
I want to say to
people, Orlando, thank you.
Our main goal with this conversation about this brother losing his life was that I hope he didn't die in vain. I hope some change comes about, and his notoriety and how much love that people have for him, it can resonate to the point where people say, no, I got a hole in my soul. I want something done. I'm demanding something to be done. And then that one voice can become a choir, right? And that choir can become a tidal wave. And we can force the changes that need to be made. Sean made a point about feeling like the club owners should be held more accountable. It's not that I don't disagree. It's not that I disagree with that. I think if somebody's going to come into your establishment and spend a lot of money, and you know you're selling them a product that could have them a little bit off kilter, you do owe them a certain amount of okay, let me make sure you get to your car. Make sure it's safe outside. Make sure it's light, it's light for the women. And I do believe that. But I also believe that a community that has people in it that just randomly open fire on police officers and crowds of people and shoot into houses and walk through areas with AR-15s. I think that shows us that there's an element in our community that must be removed. However, that does not mean every youngster is a Kia boy. That don't mean every black man is a lazy, absentee father. It doesn't mean every black woman is a nasty slut who can't wait to give her booty up and have babies and sit at home and get welfare checks. There's an element in our community that has some issues that need to be fixed or removed. That's where I'm at with it. Okay. So I hope that if people really feel the effect of losing a brother like this, we can try to start this cultural shift and make sure people understand that shit is not cool and it's not acceptable. It is not cool and it's not acceptable. And we're going to stop cheerleading for foolishness because we think being an anti-hero or anti-government or anti-police or anti-cop or whatever, that's going to get us over. Police have their issues. Qualified immunity is a son of a bitch, right? We have some training that needs to be done. In our city, it look like we need some cops. It seems like it should be some job openings. If you don't have enough police to police the city, think about this logic. They're telling us they don't have enough cops to police the city, but then they're telling us they need for us to be more accountable and help them out. You're going to get somebody killed. So I just think the double standard has to stop. Now I'm going to take one more call because the homie don't never call. Zelenine, what it do, man? What you doing calling in Outlaw Radio, man? He hung up. He probably thought I was off the show. He's like, fuck that, kid. I thought his ass was finna get on here and rant, Kamar. You got anything coming up this week, man?
Nothing but the House of Vitality. I'll be at the House of Vitality all week. Saturday, I'll be, is that this Saturday? No, I'll be at the Fondy Market this Saturday.
Okay. Now, I hope you don't think, hold on, let me finish my chat room. This is my cousin. She said, Lord have mercy. I'm getting a headache trying to understand him. Because Orlando he gonna spin you around so many times you're gonna be dizzy. You're gonna agree with whatever he say. You're gonna buy whatever he's selling when he done. Earl Henny said, Orlando, I had your house you own for sale, $10 a foot. You interested? Earl, just leave it to Earl, man. I don't know what Earl talking about. I did say this last week. I said at the end of the show, we want to start getting some real OG moments. I ain't forgot, Kamar. I'm putting you on the spot again. We want to close the show out tonight. Give me some real OG shit so we can go to sleep.
Real OGs, no. It ain't the stab in the back that kill you. It's the motherfucker who you see in the back holding a knife that kills you. Stop me when I'm lying.
We will see y'all Wednesday, man. Keep your head on the swivel, boy. Peace and love. Share the show.